keep his fancy sleigh ride. I just want the Chevy by my side. Candy apple red with the white top clean, rolling down the street like a holiday dream. All I want for Christmas is my C10 truck with chrome that shines and a little bit of luck. A bow on the hood and the motor fired up. Yeah, all I want for Christmas is my C10 truck. I've been good all year, worked hard every day. So Santa, won't you park that Chevy in my driveway? Forget the reindeer, bring that V8 sound, and I'll be the happiest guy in town. All I want for Christmas is my C10 truck, the kind of ride that makes your spirits jump. Fire it up and let those jingle bells thump. Yeah, all I want for Christmas is my C10 truck. So if you see old Santa in the pickup tonight, you'll know my Christmas came out right. All I want for Christmas is my C10 truck. All I want for Christmas is my C10 truck. All I want for Christmas is my C10 truck.
Born January 6, 1951, St. Louis, Missouri, where the hard work's done. Didn't come looking for a stage or crown, just stealing dirt and a motor sound. Worked beside Bob Chandler, learned to trade. Bigfoot dreams and the plans they made. Then July of '82, the wheel came.
The city where the engine sang, a kid with a dream and some gasoline veins. From the back of the shop to the Bakersfield line, he chased that quarter mile, one run at a time. They called him the snake, and man, he could fly with fire in his heart and steel in his eyes. He was the king of the strip, the roar and the flame, a legend in leather, everybody knew his name. From the burnout smoke to the victory lane, he changed the game. The snake remains. First to break 250 down that track, left the world standing, never looked back. Hot Wheels deals in a crowd gone wild. He sold the dream to every speed-struck child. From mongoose battles to the winner's life, he lived wide open, never out of sight. He was the king of the strip, the roar and the flame, a legend in leather, everybody knew his name. From the burnout smoke to the victory lane, he changed the game. The snake remains. Then he built a new empire, proud and elite, with Larry Dixon in the seat. 02 and 03, those titles came home. took his place in the Semi Hall of Fame. A lifetime of fire still burned in his name. Hit the desert dust by a sun in his face, still chasing that thrill, still loving the race. Now the lights still shine on that old black track. Every kid with a dream feels the fire coming back. He showed them all how a man should stand, with a heart full of thunder and a wrench in his hand. Yeah, he was the king of the strip, the roar and the flame, a true American story, never the same. And when the engines roar through the pouring rain, the snake remains. Yeah, the snake remains. The snake remains. He wasn't just a driver, he was a brand. Still rolling down the 2-lane line in my old 55, she still runs fine. Radio humming our favorite song, but the passenger seat's been empty too long. Wolfman Jack on the late night show, we'd sing along soft and low. Her hair in the wind, her hand in mine, two hearts racing through the summertime. Sundays and chrome, sweet summer nights, her laughter danced in the dashboard light. We were young, we were wild, we were free to roam. Now it's just me. These Sundays in chrome. Stop by that old Dairy Queen, where she spilled her shake and kissed me clean. Back when forever was just a word, and every promise was still unheard. Sundays in chrome, sweet summer nights, her hand in mine, under small town lights. Love was a flame, and I should have known. Time melts away like Sundays in chrome. Some nights I swear I see her there, wind in her hair, laughter in the air. I close my eyes and she's still mine, that roll through the hands of time. Sundays in chrome, and a heart that won't heal, chasing the past on 4 worn wheels. If heaven's a highway, I'm heading home to find her again. Those Sundays in chrome. town south of Nashville, where the streetlights faded slow. I'd twist that old AM dial to a station I used to know. Low LAC 1510, coming through the midnight air. Those voices felt like heaven, and I was right there. Late night songs on the radio, dreaming under that southern glow. Chubby Checker Twist and Richie Valens crying. The Supremes kept my young heart flying. Didn't know back then I'd ever be one of those names they'd someday see, singing my own late night song on the radio. Mom and Dad were fast asleep, but I was wide awake, with a 6-string dream and a transistor band, taking every note they'd make. Elvis shook, Buddy rolled, Ray Charles taught me soul, and somewhere in those static waves they carved my heart and soul. Late night songs on the radio, dreaming under that southern glow. The Platters crooning Fats Domino, Little Richard stealing the show. Didn't know back then I'd ever be one of those names they'd someday see, singing my own late night song on the radio. Now when I hear that crackling sound, takes me back to that sleepy town, where a boy with a dream and a radio found his life in a song long ago. Late night songs on the radio, WLAC 1510 in stereo. From Chubby to the Supremes, they were fuel for my dreams. And now when they spin my tune, I smile and know it all began with late night songs on the radio.
All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pedal to the Metal. I want to send out a huge
still rolling down the 2-lane line. In my old 55, she still runs fine. Radio humming our favorite song, but the passenger seat's been empty too long. Old Man Jack on the late night show. This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families that drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Well, horsepower me Sundays and chrome, sweet summer nights, her laughter dance in the dashboard light. We were young, we were wild, we were free to roam. Now it's just me. These Sundays in chrome. Stop by that old Dairy Queen, where she spilled her shake and kissed me clean. Back when forever was just a word, and every promise was still unheard. Sundays in chrome, sweet summer nights, her hand in mine under small.
This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families that drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Bill Nye Bauer, that's the creed written deep in our veins. We turn busted cars into legends and rust into fame. From late night garage grind to race day stadium roars, every scar on our knuckles unlocked 1,000 doors. We don't back down, we don't break, we don't fold. Every ride we build tells a story worth gold. This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline trains, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Here's to the nights when the world said slow down, but the engine said no when we stood our ground. To the ones who grew up rich and when the rest took the easy way, we found our path in the piston noise and we'll ride it every day. Pedal to the metal, this is where we belong. Cars, trucks, monster trucks, loud and strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, then ride, ride, ride. This is for the legends that started in dusty garages, for the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages, for the racers who gave everything without fail, and the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live it to the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow, because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high. We're not done. Pedal down, heads high. Pedal down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pedal to the Metal, the podcast where horsepower meets heart. From the shine of collector cars to the roar of race cars and the thunder of monster trucks, we've got it all. So buckle up your seatbelt, turn on the gas, and grab your favorite brew, 'cause the ride starts now. And now, here's your host, Roller.
Hey, stop it. Thank you very much, man. Man. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, man. But save your applause. Save it, man. Jim Kramer will be on here about 7:15 tonight. That's the man that deserves the applause. That's the man right there. Guaranteed. That is the man. It's going to be a great show tonight, guys. Come on, stop it. Stop it. All right. That's a little better, man. Thank you, guys. We got on here a little bit earlier because I knew I was going to have the widgets. The widgets are in the house. Yes, they are. But we got it going, and we're ready to go, man. We're on here, and sounds like a buffet at a restaurant when I leave. Sean Green, you're not right, brother. You're not right, man. I'm telling you. Oh, that's funny, dude. That is some funny stuff right there, Sean. I'll guarantee you that right now. But hey, guys, we got a great show tonight, man. Growing up as a kid, Bigfoot was always my truck. And when I had Monster Truck Radio, and then when I was doing the Monster Truck shows, man, I mean, you got to suppress your love for your favorite truck just because you're out in front of everybody, and you got to just be well-rounded, I guess is what I'm well-rounded. You better believe I am, guaranteed. But man, it's going to be a good show. Sean, I'm still laughing at that one, bro. I am still laughing at that one. That's too funny. But we got a legend on tonight, guys. I mean, this man, he has done so much for the monster truck world. He's done so much for Bigfoot. He was Bob Chandler's right-hand man. He was the first driver in the seat of Bigfoot after Bob got out and stuff, and this man has been, he has been in movies, he's been on TV, he's been in big arenas, he's been in small arenas, he's put on monster truck spectaculars for a lot of years, man, and it's going to be just a good time to have him on. He's just a great friend of mine, and we've had some good times on the road together, man. We have some stories that we can tell, and some stories we can't tell. That's the way with all monster truck drivers and different things like that, man. There's just fun times had by all, and it was just all good fun. Nothing ever bad or anything like that. Just a lot of fun together. But he'll be on about 7:15 tonight, and I did make a song for him earlier. I started yesterday, and Jim is he's a musician, and he critiqued my song, and we had to change a few things on there, and man, we got it dialed in, and he kept apologizing. I'm sorry for this, and no, that's why I wanted you to hear it before everybody else did, because I want to make sure it's right, because I want to do you justice for being on my show, man. He's that important in my life. He's just a good friend. Him and his lovely wife Julie, they come out about 2 years ago out here. They were coming through Colorado, and they stopped and took the time to have breakfast with me and stuff like that. They're just they're just great people. They really, really are, man. So, as you know, this portion of the show is music and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and we'll get into a little bit of music. We're going to play some songs from a little bit of everything tonight. We'll go ahead and we'll do some stuff from Colorado country, and then we'll go into some stuff with Cruising the Classics. And then we'll go ahead and go right on into Black Tie Soul, and then Jim will be on, and we'll talk to him for a while, and then we'll debut his song here on Pedal to the Metal for you guys. I think it's a good one, man, and I got the Jim Kramer thumbs up on it and the Julie Kramer thumbs up on it, so hey, I think we're going to be good on it. So this first song right here is off of the Colorado Country album. It's called The Rodeo Champion. And basically what this song is about an old man that used to sit on the porch with this young man, telling him stories about rodeos and stuff. And the young boy was just infatuated about, oh, you like that word, huh? Infatuated. Y'all go ahead and use that if you'd like in any sentences. That's fine. But he was infatuated about this old man's stories and stuff, and didn't know whether to believe him or not. And then the young boy, throughout the years, goes to college, and then he comes back one day and he sees a for sale sign in the yard of the old man's house, or auction sign, and he asks the boy that's there. He goes, "What happened to the old man?" He says, "Well, my dad passed away." So anyway, I'll let you take it from there. But this here is the rodeo champion. We'll be back right here in a minute on Pedal to the Metal.
As a kid, I lived on the edge of town. There was a man who told me stories when the sun went down. He told them like he lived them, bronc riding, bull riding too, roping calves and chasing dreams. His stories seemed so true. And then one day I came home from college, saw a sign in the yard that read estate sale. I asked what happened to the old cowboy. A young man said, "My dad's gone, he hit the trail." He asked me to come inside, said take a look around. That's when I saw the trophies and the saddles on the ground. Belt buckles on the wall, red champion all around. Top hand rookie of the year and best match right in town. There was one that said most desperation of cowboy, and right then it hit me, standing silent in that room of pride. That old man was a rodeo champion. His stories weren't just dreams, they were his life. Every bronc he broke, every bull he rode, he carried the dust and the scars of the show. Yeah, that old man was a rodeo champion. And now I know the stories were true. To that old front porch where we'd sit and talk for hours. Felt the wind blow through the air, smelled the faded wildflowers. I tipped my hat and whispered low, "Ride easy, old friend. Your stories live forever, they'll be told again and again." That old man was a rodeo champion. His heart was tied and the reins. Now every time the gate swings wide, I swear I hear his name. Yeah, that old man was a rodeo champion, and his spirit still rides on through that dusty trail.
Oh yeah, the rodeo champion right there. A good one for sure, man. I just love that first album out. It's just there's a lot of good songs in there. This next song up here is The Trainer. It's about a friend of mine named Vaughn Long. He is a accomplished auctioneer, ringman, and he is also very well known in the horse racing business. And I made a song about him traveling up and down the roads, being a trainer of racehorses. So this is The Trainer. We'll be right back on Pedal to the Metal.
before sunrise, coffee in hand. Another small town, another stretch of land. Hauling young colts, chasing that trainer's dream. Living his life in the fast mile scene. Long nights driving, chasing daylight. Track to track, under those bright lights, track lights. The horses are young, but he feels that spark. Thinks he's got a winner, he can feel it in his heart. He can feel it in his heart. Dust on his boots, sweat on his brow. He don't count the miles, that cowboy just sits there and smiles. Every race is a gamble, every gate's a fight. He's just sitting there waiting for post time tonight. But he's raising champions with all of his might, just hoping he takes that big purse home tonight. Some legs get weary, some backs get sore. The vet gives them care, and they're ready for more. He treats them like family, he believes in their run. Knows one of these colts is a champion one. Long nights driving, chasing daylight. Track to track, under those bright lights. The horses are young, but he feels that spark. Thinks he's got a winner, he can feel it in his heart. He can feel it in his heart. The roar of the crowd, the thunder of hooves, the victory's close, he's got nothing to lose. Dreams on the line with each pound and stride. Tonight he's a winner with the world on his side. No more long nights, he's found the daylight. From track to track, now the future's bright. The young horse was golden, it was there from the start. He knew he had a winner, he could feel it in his heart.
Yeah, I tell you what, running around chasing horses and stuff, you know, it's not part of me, but that boy, Vaughn, he's amazing at it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, got a good friend of mine on here tonight, world champion, Mr. Scott Goodyear, champion auctioneer, that is, two times right there in the world right there for this man. So, let's just see here if we can't do this here for Mr. Goodyear. We'll be right back here on Pedal the Metal.
He's got a gavel and a suitcase, always ready to roll. From Denver down to Houston, chasing that gold. Cattle in the morning, Class 6 at night. Hammer falls down, he's catching that flight. He's a traveling auctioneer, voice sharp and clear, selling dreams to strangers from town to town each year. From muscle cars to dairy steers, he's known far and near. But when the bid and all the barns between. He's the fastest tongue the crowd has ever seen. He's a multi-world champ, best in the land, with a mic in his grip and a crowd in his hand. Now I got 100. Can I get 200 big? Now who will make it easy?
Oh yeah. This man, he travels all over the world, selling cars and cattle and you name it. He does a little bit of everything. But anyway, this next song up is that old cowboy poet. I lived 9 years in Amarillo, Texas, and I worked at an auction down there. And one of these gentlemen that used to drive cars for us used to come in. And the first day I see him, he had his pants tucked in his boots and a hat and a neckerchief and stuff like that. And just an old cowboy, and he got to know him. His name was Buck, and Buck was a cowboy poet, and he could tell you, I'd sit in the office and he'd tell me stories forever, cowboy poet stories, and you could just look in his eyes and you could see the story happening. He just could build it with his eyes. Anyway, Buck passed away this year. He had cancer, and I hate cancer. Anyway, he did get to hear this song, and he just thought it was the greatest song there ever was. So my brother Buck upstairs watching over me right now, this song goes out to you. This is called The Cowboy Poet.
I was just a young kid, wide eyes open wide, sat close to the fire on that cool autumn night. He walked up so quiet with a slow cowboy stride, snow white hair flowing and a gray beard long and wide. He pulled me right into the heart of the tale with them cowboy eyes. Through the dust of the canyon, the wind on the trail, his spurs and his six-gun, his voice strong and tall, that old cowboy poet made me live it all. His hat tipped just perfect, his vest leather worn, like a man riding out since the day he was born. Each word lit the fire, each rhyme stoked the flame, and I swear in that moment I was part of the game. He pulled me right into the heart of the tale with them cowboy eyes. Through the dust of the canyon, the wind on the trail, his snow white hair glowing, I still can recall that old cowboy poet made me live it all. He wasn't pretending, no trick of the show. The West lived inside him, it shone head to toe. One night by the fire I was captured in time by a cowboy in spirit, in dress and in rhyme. He pulled me right into the heart of the tale with them cowboy eyes. Through the dust of the canyon, the wind on the trail, with his long gray beard and his story so tall, that old cowboy poet made me live it all. And one day I'll gather my grandson and granddaughter around a crackling autumn campfire. I'll tell them of the night I first heard that old cowboy poet. His snow white hair, his long gray beard, and the truth in every word he spoke. And I'll pray they feel, as I once did, the living heartbeat of the West.
Oh, the cowboy poet. That's right. It goes out to my buddy Buck, man. Really, really a true cowboy. I'll promise you that right now. Anyway, guys, that's those are songs off of Colorado Country. If you'd like to buy Colorado Country, we can either sell it to you on a CD or we can sell it to you on a thumb drive. Right now, in 2025, a CD costs $10, and that's shipping and everything. And a thumb drive is $13, shipping and everything. In 2026, the CDs are going up to $13 with shipping and everything, and the thumb drives are going up to $15 with shipping and everything. So if you live close, you don't have to pay shipping and stuff because I'll meet you somewhere and hand deliver it to you. So this next song here is off of our Cruising the Classics CD, and this is called Muscle Car Blues. That's what it is, Muscle Car Blues, right here on Pedal to the Metal.
Well, my baby's sitting idle out in the drive. Chrome still shining, but she barely alive. Blew a gasket last Sunday, lost that race by 2. Now I'm sitting here wondering what a poor boy's gonna do. Yeah, I got those muscle car blues, busting knuckles and worn out shoes. Gas tank's empty, my wallet too. Lord, I got them old muscle car blues. Heading down the lines come the Saturday night. My 55 highboy's gonna make it right. Gonna line her up next to that be-altered crew and that slick dude's coupe. See what she can do. Now the boys are coming from Fresno town. Say they're gonna take my 55 down, but my motor's big, mean and loud. Gonna keep those wheels stuck to the ground. Yeah, I got those muscle car blues. Can't take my gal out, ain't got no fuel. She loves that rumble, she loves that sound, but my hot rod's quiet, just sitting around. If I could sell this ranch or pawn my shoes, I'd buy a gallon just to chase those blues. Cause when she fires up, man, it's sweet relief. That rumbling thunder shakes my grief. Well, the crowd gets loud when I roll to the line. Shining chrome headers humming fine. One more run and I'll pay my dues. Till then I'm stuck with these muscle car blues. Yeah, I got those muscle car blues, but I ain't giving up on that old V8 tune. One more paycheck and a little more time, my hot rod will roll and that girl will be mine. Cause when that green light flashes under moonlight hues, I'll burn those tires and lose these muscle car blues.
Oh, yeah, man, you get a little bit of muscle car blues. All you got to do is go out and get in your muscle car and cruise, and it takes away the muscle car blues. Hey, Von Long, you dismissed your song, man. We were playing your song just a minute ago, The Trainer. If you would have been here just a few minutes ago, you would have heard it, brother. You would have heard it. Ladies and gentlemen, in the house tonight, world champion ringman right here, and in a very, very good auctioneer, a great friend of mine, my brother from another mother, Mr. Von Long. He's happening in here tonight. We got a lot of people listening in tonight, man. That's pretty cool. I really like it here. So this next song is about a gentleman that was traveling through the Appalachian Mountains, had an empty car trailer on the back, and he just happened to look up on a hill, and there was some Appalachian gold right here on Pedal to the Metal.
An empty trailer rolling down the Blue Ridge Parkway. Took a ride on Route 321, just another working day. Then I saw her sitting quiet on a hillside all alone. A 68 C10 shining through that weathered tone. Yeah, I found Appalachian gold, rust and chrome and a story untold. She ain't fancy, but she's pure soul. That old truck made this young heart whole. Now every time that engine rolls, I thank the hills for my Appalachian gold. I stopped by and asked the owner if she'd ever leave that land. He said, son, there's been many before you, but their offer wasn't worthy of my hand. So make me an offer I can't turn down, and you can take that Appalachian gold. So I studied real hard on what offer I should make. Didn't want to offend him, this was no give or take. So I come up with a plan, went and asked that man once more. He stuck out his hand and said, that C10 truck is yours. Took one look inside her, and my jaw near hit the floor. Bucket seats and a console, the inserts houndstooth gold. That small block 350 purred just like it should. And I knew right then I'd found something good. Back home I cleaned her car, changed the wires and plugs. New tires, fresh shine, just a little elbow love. The wood in the bed looked new as can be. That old C10 was meant for me. Yeah, I found Appalachian gold, worth more than money, can't be sold. She's a story, she's a soul, she's a piece of the road. And every mile she rides, my pride just grows. Yeah, I struck it rich in the hills, you know, when I found my Appalachian gold. Just a man and his truck rolling slow down the road with his Appalachian gold.
I sure would like to find a little Appalachian gold. That would be kind of special, you know. Well, this next song up, ladies and gentlemen, we're let's see here. It's 6:37. We'll start the regular show at 7 o'clock, and then Jim Kramer will be calling in at 7:15. This next song is about a young man that lived in a small town, and if you come from a small town, you know there's always one guy that's just, he's not that right. He's just kind of crazy, and he usually has some kind of hot rod. And anyway, this is about a buddy. Well, he's not a buddy. He is in my heart because I kind of thunked him up. Anyway, this is called A Square Body Johnny Rocket right here on Pedal to the Metal. Anyway, this
back road where the cornfields sway, Johnny Rocket rolls at the break of day. A square body Chevy paint like the sun, big block LS 700 horses on the run. Hill-born fuel injection feeding that fire. 700 R4, that truck is built to intimidate, and a 3-inch exhaust really makes that truck sound. Wide profile 22s in the back, 20 up front. He rolls through town in his truck, shaking buildings and windows. That's his thing. Square body Johnny Rocket, fastest truck in town. Big block LS motor roaring, 700 R4 keeping the wheels spinning round. Wide profile wheels spinning, tires kicking up dust from the gravel to the highway. Johnny Rocket we trust. Tailgate parties under a harvest moon, fenders shining, tires kicking up a tune. Radio's playing on Merlin Hank, Hill-born fuel injection purring. You can hear them coming from miles around. Chrome bumper glinting, headlights like fire. This Chevy's got heart and it never ties. Every mile tells a story, every turn's a song. Johnny and his square body, you can't go wrong. Yeah, Johnny square body, fastest truck in town. He'll race anybody from pink slips that roll into this old town. Johnny Rocket's a big name in this southern little town. Engines roar, tires spin, he never backs down. Square body Johnny Rocket, fastest truck in town. Big block LS motor roaring, 700 R4 keeping the wheels spinning round. Wide profile wheels spinning, tires kicking up dust from the gravel roads to the highway. When that checkered flag comes down, Johnny Rocket is always taking the wheel.
Well, excuse me, I guess Johnny Rocket's the one to beat, man. That's what, if you go to his town, This next song up right here, ladies and gentlemen, about a father and a son that had, a tiff like all fathers and sons do. And they didn't talk to each other for a couple of years. And one day the old man picks up the phone and calls and says, "Hey, we need to talk." And so the young man comes over to the house, and in the driveway is the dad's 55 Chevrolet, and they go for a big cruise on Route 66. So this right here is called Down on Route 66.
Much in a couple years, both too proud to face our fears. But one July morning he called my name. Said, son, let's take a little ride. It's time to fix some things. Pulled the tarp off that old Bel Air, faded red and white chrome everywhere. Said she's been sitting since '89, but she's still got heart, kinda like mine. Down on Route 66, just me and him, chasing the sun, let the healing begin. From the Cadillac Ranch to the Blue Swallow sign, laughing about the past as the white lines unwind. Somewhere between the dust and the wind, I found my dad again. We stayed at the Wigwam Motel that night. Stars burning bright in the desert light. He told me about the dreams he chased, the ones he lost, the ones that stayed. We rolled through Tucumcari and Santa Fe, two lost souls finding our way. Stopped for pie at a roadside stand. He reached across and shook my hand. Down on Route 66, just me and him, chasing the sun, let the healing begin. From the Cadillac Ranch to the Blue Swallow sign, laughing about the past as the white lines unwind. Somewhere between the dust and the wind, I found my dad again. Now the years roll by like highway miles, and I still see his crooked smile. That 56 sits in my garage, and I swear I hear his voice each time she stops. One day I'll take my own boy down that road, show him the stories the asphalt told. From the Wigwam lights to the Santa Monica sand, he'll know who I am, and I'll understand. 'Cause somewhere between the dust and the wind, a father and a son can start again, yeah. On old Route 66, we'll find each other again.
You know, hot rodding got into my blood at a young age, and I can remember one Christmas I got a Hot Wheels race set, and it was Don the Snake Prudhomme and Tom McEwen, and man, it was the coolest Christmas present that I think I ever got. And these were really hot at the time, and I just loved playing with it, and I wish I still had it, you know. But anyway, here, I'd say this probably been three months ago. I thought, you know, I'm going to write a song about the snake, and here it is, right here. This is about Don the Snake Prudhomme. It's called "The Snake."
City where the engines sang, a kid with a dream and some gasoline veins. From the back of the shop to the Bakersfield line, he chased that quarter-mile, one run at a time. They called him the Snake, and man, he could fly. drifted down that track. Left the world standing, never looked back. Hot Wheels deals and a crowd gone wild. He sold the dream to every speed-struck child. From mongoose battles to the winner's life, he lived wide open, never out of sight. He was the king of the strip, the roar and the flame, a legend in leather, everybody knew his name. From the burnout smoke to the victory lane, he changed the game. The snake remains. Then he built a new empire, proud and elite, with Larry Dixon in the seat. Oh, 2 and 03, those titles came home, still winning races from Snake's old throne. He took his place in the Semi Hall of Fame. A lifetime of fire still burned in his name. Hit the desert dust by a sun in his face, still chasing that thrill, still loving the race. Now the lights still shine on that old black track. Every kid with a dream feels the fire coming back. He showed them all how a man should stand, with a heart full of thunder and a wrench in his hand. Yeah, he was the king of the strip, the roar and the flame, a true American story, never the same. And when the engines roar through the pouring rain, the snake remains. Yeah, the snake remains. The snake remains. He wasn't just a driver, he was a brand.
He was my guy, man, back in the day. I promise you that. I guarantee it. We're not too far away from 7 o'clock. Let's do one more here. We'll do, this is going to be off of, and that all those songs were off of the Cruising the Classics songs. Same way, CDs right now are $10 shipping and everything. Thumb drives are $13 shipping and everything. But after the first of the year, everything's going up. $13 shipping and everything for the CD, and $15 shipping and everything for the thumb drive. But this next song here is off of the latest album, and that is called Black Tie Soul. And the name of this song is Root Beer Candy. It's after a friend of mine that has a 56 Chevrolet 210.
Car rolling down the boulevard, a 56 Chevy, yeah, it's a working hard. 327 under the hood, 325 strong, 700 R4, keeping it moving all day long. It was his uncle's pride, kept for 15 years. Now it's shining glory, turning heads, bringing cheers. Full wheel spinning, 17 up front, 18 in the back. Man, it's on the hunt. Root beer candy, shines so sweet. Metal flake glimmering in the heat. Two-tone brown interior dark.
told the story why of a car that makes hearts stop. No need to hide.
Dark brown leather with light brown inserts.
Every curve, every line, man, it just works.
Sun is the roof.
It's a magical glow.
Oh, everywhere it goes.
Everywhere it goes.
Everybody knows. From the hood to the trunk,
From the doors to the frame.
root beer candy's a legend, more than a name. Root beer candy shines so sweet.
Metal flake glimmering in the heat.
Two-tone brown interior, dark and light.
Catching every eye in the show tonight.
Root beer candy,
Candy.
ride so fine.
Multiple top 5 winner.
The best of show every time.
Oh, it's more than steel.
More than chrome.
It's memories, it's family, it's a place called home.
Every detail tells a story. Every curve has a song. Root beer candy, baby. You can't go wrong. Root beer candy shines so sweet.
Metal flake glimmering in the heat.
Two-tone brown interior, dark and light.
Catching every eye in the show tonight.
Root beer candy,
Candy.
ride so fine.
The multiple top 5 winner.
Best of show every time. Yeah. Root beer candy. The 56 Chevy. History in the paint. Love in the chrome. A legend on 4 wheels. Forever.
Root beer candy. All right, guys, we got to pay some bills right fast. We'll be right back here for the starting of the show at 7 o'clock. So we'll be back right here on Pedal to the Metal. Hey, lug nuts. Need pick me up to start your day? Then it's time to go to Rise and Grind. At Rise and Grind Coffee in Parker, Colorado, you'll find everything from bold espressos to creamy lattes to refreshing chai teas and smoothies. Whether you love it regular or decaf, we've got the perfect cup waiting for you. Hungry? Grab a hot breakfast burrito and a fresh muffin to go with your drink. And don't forget to check in on our merchandise. Perfect gift for any coffee lover. Planning on an event? Rise and Grind brings coffee to you with our family-equipped portable coffee trailer. Perfect for weddings, meetings, celebrations of any kind. Stop by at 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker or give us a call at 480-212-3787. That's 480-212-3787. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day one cup at a time. Hey, lug nuts, take a look at our new partner, 69 Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 69 Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 69 Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 Graphics and Design. Or go to 69design.com or find them on Instagram at 69design.
This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams. For the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes. For the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews. For the
fold. Every ride we build tells a story worth gold. This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline trains. For the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes. For the families of drivers, the wrench turning crews. For the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart. Yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood. We are rolling here's to the nights when the world said slow down, but the engine said no when we stood our ground. To the ones who grew up rich and when the rest took the easy way, we found our path in the piston noise and we'll ride it every day. Pedal to the metal, this is where we belong. Cars, trucks, monster trucks, loud and strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, then ride, ride, ride. This is for the legends that started in dusty garages. For the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages. For the racers who gave everything without fail. And the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live it to the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow. Because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high. We're not done. Pedal down, heads high. Pedal down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pedal to the Metal, the podcast where horsepower meets heart. From the shine of collector cars to the roar of race cars and the thunder of monster trucks, we've got it all. So buckle up your seatbelt, turn on the gas, and grab your favorite brew, 'cause the ride starts now. And now, here's your host, Roller.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What's up there in the mezzanine? How y'all doing up there, man? Hey, we're gonna rock tonight, baby. We're gonna have a good show, yeah. It's gonna be a great one. A great show. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, but let's keep the applause for the superstar, Mr. Kramer. He'll be on here, calling in here in just a little bit, man, and let's just calm down. Let's just calm down a little bit, okay? You three up at the front row, you better watch out, or I'll have you escorted out. Yeah, you three right there. Out the door. That's what it'll be. Out the door. Anyway, guys, welcome to Pedal to the Metal, man. We're going to have us a great show tonight. We got Mr. Jim Kramer from Bigfoot. This man was the #1 driver to take over right after Bob Chandler, who was the creator of Bigfoot, and Jim took Bigfoot to the next level. He is an amazing man. He's an amazing friend, and, I just can't thank him enough for being on the show. He'll be calling in here about 7:15, so we'll be talking to him about his career in the monster trucks and just a little bit of everything, and then after the monster trucks, he got into he always has been into fixing up old guitars and stuff like that, and so he keeps himself really, really busy, and I just can't wait to just go ahead and have him on the show, man. It's going to be a good time. But just to let you know, Black Tie Soul, the CDs are, since we did the thumb drives, guys, it's happening, man. It's really, we're selling a bunch. I'm shipping out stuff all the time. I have another bunch to ship out tomorrow, and it was the way to go with the thumb drive. So we can do any of those albums on thumb drives, and we can still do the CDs, but after the first of the year, those prices are going to go up because the cost of shipping and getting them down there to the post office and all that. So the CDs are going to be $13 with shipping, and the thumb drives are going to be $15 with shipping. So just a couple extra bucks tucked on top of everything. So not a big price increase. This is not a big, huge store or nothing like that. But if you guys are looking for apparel, go to fourthwall.com. You can check out our clothing line. We got hoodies, we got sweatshirts, we got t-shirts, we got cups, we got mouse pads, we got tennis shoes, and we got a little bit of everything. But, it's fourthwall.com. Type in Pedal to the Metal, and you can order some stuff just in time for Christmas right there, guaranteed. Now, the shirt giveaway. We have a way of tracking this, and these people have been telling people to come to the site and like us and friend us and follow us, and then we follow them back, and excuse me, and then they get a check mark by their name, and so does the person that friended us. So we're tracking these things, and then on Christmas Eve afternoon, I'm going to announce the winner for the Monster Truck Radio shirt. This is a shirt that I had never been worn. It's from my Monster Truck Radio show, and we used to go to all the Monster Truck shows and stuff, and we'd talk to the drivers and different things like that. And then we had a show down in Castle Rock Radio. A gentleman by the name of Harry Barucci owned the station, and he was gracious enough for me to have my show down there, and I really appreciate him doing that for me. But anyway, Monster Truck Radio is one of my creation and Danny Torgeson's creation. But this shirt here is a black shirt and with green pinstripe, and then it has a bunch of really wild pinstripe on it. It's a black shirt with green stripes. It says Monster Truck Radio. Has roller over here. It has the MTRA logo on the sleeve, which is the Monster Truck Racing Association. Has bell helmets on this sleeve. If you turn it around, there's Monster Truck Radio on the back. And even if you can't wear the shirt and you want to hang it in your garage or something like that, it's just something that we did to kind of create a contest to get people to show up to the show and help build the show. So we appreciate everybody that's done that so far, and we will announce the winners of that real soon. So that will be Christmas Eve day. So other than that, got to hang out today with Raul again, and the promotion for the motorhome is coming up real soon, and you're going to be able to advertise your business on this motorhome. We're going to be traveling up and down the Front Range and all over with this big motorhome that I have, and we'll be pulling we'll be pulling my C10 truck behind it, and we'll be able to come to your car shows or go to any car show, really. We're going to be able to do the show live from your event, and this is a packet that we have. It's an advertising packet, and you're going to be able to put your company's logo on the side of the motorhome with a QR code, and when the people take a picture of that QR code, it'll take them right to your website. So I have some people that's been listening that have showed some interest. So I went ahead and I'm developing all the information on here. Raul's helping me do that, and we'll be having this advertising packet out real soon. So you'll be able to, have your company's name right on the side of the Pedal to the Metal motorhome, and we look forward to getting that thing done and getting out to a car show near you, because we're going to be traveling this summer. We're going to be going up and down the Front Range to all these different car shows and stuff, so we can get the word out there and also advertise your businesses. So we'll let you know more about that when that comes out, but that's just kind of a heads up what's going on. Once again, you can go to fourthwall.com and you can get all the merchandise that we have for sale there. There's t-shirts, there's no hats, but there's t-shirts, there's sweatshirts, there's hoodies, we have coffee cups, we have a hot and cold drink cup, we have tennis shoes, we have mouse pads, we got a little bit of everything. I'm not in charge of the pricing or anything like that, so we've come up with a code that you can type in, and it's 1973. So if you go to Fourth Wall and you type in that code, that's going to help you a little bit on the pricing and stuff like that, because some of the stuff, I'm not going to lie to you, some of the stuff is a little high, and that's maybe shooting myself in the foot, but I'm looking for a new company, and we're going to take it someplace else, because I'm not in this to make any money on the clothing. I'm in this to get the name of the show out there. So that's what I want to get done. So anyway, if you have a hot rod or hot rod truck or motorcycle or something with a big motor in it, and you're really proud of that and you want to be on the show, all you got to do is get a hold of me at jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. That's jeffrichards327 at gmail.com, or you can call the phone number, my cell phone, at 303-919-6678, and just say, hey, I want to get on your show. We can give you a date of when things are going to be on. Next week we have Shane and Lee Plato out of California. Shane and Lee has a company called North Cal Customs. They build custom hot rods out in California. And then Shane is a professional monster truck driver. I interviewed him a lot of years ago. He was with Kid KJ Mini Monster Trucks, and he started out in that, and now he's in a full-blown race truck, and he's doing quite well, and he's going to have his own team out there. And so look for that information on Monday. We're going to be sending that information out for that show, and that will be on Sunday. And then the Sunday after that, we've got Miss Bigfoot on. She's going to be on, Amber, and we'll be talking to her. Her and I did a few shows together when she worked with Paul Schaefer Motorsports, and then I done a couple of shows with her when she was Miss Bigfoot. So that's going to be an exciting show too. And then I think we have another one coming up. His name is excuse me, his name is Taylor Delaney, and he is a track coordinator and announcer for Monster X Tour, which is the company I used to work for, or still do a little bit here and there. And he's going to be on. He's going to be talking about 2026 for Monster X Tour and his time in the business and stuff. So those interviews are getting out. They're getting booked out on Sunday shows. We still have some openings on the Wednesday shows. So if you have a hot rod and you want to get on there, once again, when you watch this show, I just ask that you keep a piece of paper and a pencil, because we always give you some information that's going to help you order CDs, that's going to help you get on the show or whatever. So once again, if you want to order CDs or you want to be on the show, you just go to jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. That's jeffrichards327 at gmail.com. And then if you want to call me, it's 303-919-6678. That's 303-919-6678. And if you'd like to call in onto the studios when we don't have a guest on, that phone number in the studio is 720-273-0772. That's just 720 273-0772. And we take a lot of calls on Wednesdays. So if you'd like to call in and talk on the show, talk about your car, your ride, or whatever you happen to have, we would love to. And Vaughn Long, no horses, okay? No horses, Vaughn Long. I'm just telling you right now, okay? Because I know you'll call in and you'll want to talk about your horse. It's the 9th horse, but we're not going to talk about it. So anyway, I look forward to Jim calling in here in just a minute. He should be checking us, calling us in here in a minute, and then we'll go ahead and get ready to talk to him. But like I said, Jim is the first driver that took over after Bob Chandler got involved in racing, and then Bob went on to other things through the Bigfoot company, and then Jim took over the driving duties. And Jim's been on many arenas. He's been in many arenas and stuff like that, did a lot of shows, but he's also on several movies. He was on Roadhouse, he was on Police Academy 2, and in Roadhouse he was the one that drove the monster truck through the Ford dealership and stuff. So we look forward to having that. And I think he's calling the wrong number. He just was calling here, and we need to tell him, hold on just a second. Hey, Jim, you need to call 720-273-0772. I sent it to you in the text. Maybe you didn't get it, but it's 720. Okay.
Right, 720
273 0772.
0772. Okay.
That's the studio line. All right, Jim. Thank you.
See you.
All right, that was him. Just happened to call in on my cell phone, so we'll get him. He'll be calling in here in just a second, and we'll get ready to have some fun. This man is a very interesting man in the monster truck world, and happens to be a good friend of mine. You know, growing up as a kid, I used to watch him on TV, and here he is right now. So hold on just a second here. All right, Mr. Kramer, how are you, sir?
Is this the studio of Mr. Jeff Richards?
You got him, baby. You got him right here. This is the studio, my brother. What's up, man?
Calling you. You know, it's not like I got nothing else to do.
Well, you know, I've seen here lately that you've been really busy. You know, when you say retirement, I think it means more work is what it really means. Is that true or not?
Well, you know, I take the jobs that I want to, and usually I want to stay busy. You know, keeps you from getting old.
Well,
so yeah, I stay busy.
Well, that's good. That's good. You know, Jim, I was talking to the folks here tonight. We had some, we played some songs and different things like that, and that's what we do for the first hour of the show. And I was telling them a little bit about your career and different things like that. But there's nothing better than hearing it from the horse's mouth. So why don't we just start off from that phone call when Bob called you and said, "Hey, I'm trying to do something here, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I want you to be a part of it."
Damn, Jeff, that's going back quite a ways, you know. Holy mackerel. I'm going to recount this. I'm getting to be an old man, see, so things I remember are some things maybe, you know, other people might call me out on. But this is how I remember it. It wasn't a phone call. He came knocking on my door because we're friends. We've been friends, you know, many years before that. And at that time, when he wanted me to come back to work, I had worked there for a while and was a partner at one time, and sold back out to him and went back to my construction equipment job. But anyway, here I was, fat, dumb, and happy, just doing this, and you know, he knocks on the door and says, "Hey, I need some help." Basically, this thing, and he explained it. You know, his notoriety picked up, and he's getting more than he can basically handle. He has hands full, man, trying to, you know, run the truck and run the business, Midwest 4-wheel drive, and so forth and so on. He needed some help on the road, and he thought I'd be the guy to do it. He said, "I need somebody I can trust." And we've always had a great relationship, and never gave him any inkling not to trust me. So he said, I need somebody I can trust to go out and do some of this stuff. And I think you're the man. And I turned him down. I said, I quit there to save my marriage, basically. My wife told me she didn't marry me to live by herself.
Right.
Some years before that, when I was in business, because I worked construction equipment all day, and I worked at Bigfoot half the night, doing repairs and work that he had taken in during the day. So I literally didn't see my wife hardly at all. And she made a good point, and the gas crunch was on, and the shop wasn't doing that good. And, it's just like, yeah, probably the right thing to do. So I sold my half back to him and went back and did my other job. So anyway, he's knocking on my door, wanting me to come back. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think I want to do that. And I turned him down. And my wife and I talked. She said, if you really want to do this, so we both grew up since then. If you want to do this, go ahead and do it. At that time, Jeff, we figured 2 years flash in the pan, done. Anybody ever saw a monster truck wouldn't want to see it again. They might want to see it the first time just out of curiosity, but then, probably move on to something else. So we decided I went back to work and got my withdrawal card from the union and went to work for Bob. But that's how, it went. And like I say, he stopped over and talked, and he stopped over again. We talked again, and I had talked to my wife since then. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll do this. So that's how I got it, back in doing this. I wouldn't have done it, but my wife said, yeah, you need to go do this. You want to do this, let's just do it. And it's a team effort. I mean, I couldn't do it without her, basically.
No, that's the truth. I mean, and any of us that's been on the road in the entertainment business, the families, if you don't have the support from your significant other, it doesn't work out. I mean, it just doesn't work out at all. And there's been so many failed marriages because of the long hours on the road and not being home and stuff like that. And it's always nice to know that you have the support of the family when you go out there because it's not fun out on the road. It's not, everybody thinks that it's just a grand old time, but there's long hours. There's long hours and you know as well as I do that you can't wait to get home. And especially you guys, because you guys would go from show to show to show. I was the lucky one. I got to go home on the weekend or come home on Sunday, and then I worked my regular job Monday, then flew out again on Thursday. But you guys were, you were hundreds of miles away from your home and going to the next show.
Yeah, we hated guys like you. I'm just telling you, we hated guys like you. Damn it.
Well, I know, but that's the only way that I could get involved because at number one, it was my passion to do that, and that was the only thing. I never had the opportunity, except for with Don King, of even being behind the wheel of a monster truck, and I just didn't. I had little boys, and I just felt that I needed to be there because she was a school teacher too, and it worked out. It worked out good for us the way we did it. I guess I could say.
No, I hear you, and you got to have that support at home because you can't be out on the road, 3 weeks at a time and be worried about what's happening at home.
No.
It just doesn't work. You can't do. It's like doing two jobs. You can only do one good.
Right. Yeah, that's the truth.
And without that support at home, that would be, that'd be a bad job, and it wouldn't work out.
Yeah, exactly. So your first night in the wheel behind number one, where was that at?
Yeah, you're picking on an old brain here, but I'm thinking it's. I'm trying to think that Taze Valley.
Uh-huh.
And it's Ohio. It's right across the Indiana border.
Uh-huh.
Taze Valley. And it's a funny thing, when you cross the Indiana border into Ohio, basically, your time changes. Just going across the river, your time changes.
Right, exactly.
So here I am. I'm in Taze Valley, set up, and all I have to do is drive the truck down the track and crab steer it and raise the hood and stuff like that. And that's all you did back then. It was my first show, basically, my first show.
Uh-huh.
And here I am all posted up in a chair, and this long drink of water comes walking by and says, son? He said, I looked at him, I go, yeah. He goes, what do you think you're going to do that little thing? You're going to do that little show thing. I said, well, I got about an hour. You know, I'm just kind of sitting here waiting to go. Truck's ready. I'm ready. I'm just waiting to go. He goes, well, I think it's that time. And I looked at my watch and I go, no, it's only 7 o'clock. He goes, oh, no, it's 8 o'clock. You in Ohio time. You in Ohio time. 8 o'clock right now. I says, I looked at him and shook my head. I go, well, you want to take a ride with me? He goes, well, yeah, I think I could do something like that. And I put this old boy in there. I guess he was part of the fair thing, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I took him for a ride. And he got to wave to all his buddies and all that stuff. And I did my little drive around and wave and give it the gas. And, you know, just farted around. It's like, say that's what you did back then. But, yeah, that's my first show, and it's the only show I was ever late for. Or I wasn't late. I would have been late.
Yeah, thank goodness for him, right?
Yeah, thank God for that. But you jumped too far ahead, Jeff. You need to go back to the shop. I mean, leaving to go to the first show.
Okay, well, let's do that then.
Got this, 40-something foot long Winnebago towing this triaxle trailer with a Bigfoot on it. And he didn't go anywhere with this Bigfoot on the back without like 6 spare tires for the trailer.
Right.
We had some shitty stuff back then. So anyway, I'm leaving the shop and I drive out the driveway and I look in the mirror and I see Bob Chandler standing out at the road just looking. He looked as long as he looked before I got out of sight. He's thinking, oh my God, what have I done? Let this guy take everything I own right now and go down the road, He told me that too. He goes, man, I don't know. That was a long weekend.
I bet you it was. But,
you button that up. It turned out great. I mean, the guys there loved it. But yeah, it was my first outing. Yeah, I was damn sure I had my watch set the right time. My second outing, that's for sure. And yeah, and then it went on from there,
Right. Now, the truck back then was on leaf springs, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, basically all they did was come out and pull up onto the cars. You raised the hood, you got and waved and got back in it and drove off. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I think you're saying too much.
Well,
I can't remember. I don't think I even drove over cars at first for a while. I mean, you just drove out and did some burnouts, and you crab steered all over and circle steered and all that and raised the hood and waved, and people liked it. You were just basically showing them this truck.
Right. Showing it what it can do.
That's literally all you had to do back then.
Well, that was an easy show.
Cars came a little later, not much later, but a little bit later.
Right.
But those first shows were just, making some noise, showing them, something they had not seen before.
Right. So what was the first truck that you hit cars on? And was that in number 5 or was it in number 1?
Oh, no. We hit cars. I mean, we drove very carefully on top of cars with number 1.
Uh-huh.
And number 2 before we got the planetaries because, they were delicate pieces. They fell apart pretty easy.
Sure.
Yeah, you had 5 tons in them. I don't remember we had 5 tons. I think we had 5 tons of number 1 first time I took it out.
Mm-hmm.
But you snap an axle if you look crossways at it, if you gave it any gas. But anyway, you put cars side by side with about 1.5 feet between them. So when you drive up the trunks, which you just root up, and you blew out the tires so they sat low, you try to make this easy on the truck, right?
Right.
And you drove up on them, and you kind of brake a little bit and crush the trunks in. You give it a little gas, and then hit the brake and crush the tops in, and it makes a perfect V so you don't slide off the side.
Right.
And then you stop on top, and you wave. We had a big horn on the truck, I think, at that time. You blow this big air horn and raise the hood and wave to everybody, and then drive off, and then do your other stuff, drive around. But, those old trucks... They were kind of delicate. I mean, you had to prep your cars. You had to get the vent windows broken down. You had to take the carburetor studs off because invariably you drive over the hood and it's got an air cleaner on it and your big old wide 66-inch tire, pushes the hood down, and here comes the carburetor stud right up to the tire.
Yep.
And the antenna, you had to break off the antenna so they'll stick your tire. So you had to kind of be a little careful about what you did.
Wow.
It was a process. It was a process.
So the first time that you went up on a set of cars, what was going through your mind?
Well, I hope I don't screw up and look like an idiot.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the truth. But in mine, it'd be like, I think it'd be one of them oh no moments. Like, is this really going to work, or am I really doing the right thing here, or what? You know, I mean, that would be a scary deal for me. That for the very first time, I think.
Okay, I laid out a scenario on how to make it easy.
Okay.
You know, I just told you how to do it.
Right.
And by that time, you have enough seat time in the truck. You know what you can do. You got to be nice and straight. Don't try to stress one axle over the other. You know, keep the momentum up a little bit and roll up on it and kind of crawl up on it. I was more or less thinking about just technique and what I wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
That was on my mind, just how I was going to get this done. And of course, I watched Bob do it the first time. You know, he jumped on the cars about in that field the first time.
Right.
The very first time Bigfoot went over cars. And I went out with him a couple times after that. So, I mean, I've seen it done. I just had to figure out what I wanted to do.
Well, you got to work. And then you had a unique driving style compared to the other guys. Everybody else was keeping their arms and head and stuff inside the cab, and you had one arm hanging out the window and your head hanging out the window. What was the reasoning for that, Jim?
That was stupid.
Oh, I don't believe that. I really don't.
Okay, Roller, you sat in a truck that's jacked up pretty high, right?
Yes, sir.
And you sit out and look out the front. Now, you can't see
nothing.
Crap out the front.
No.
Your field of vision is very, very limited.
Guaranteed.
And you're going to crush cars or something. You want to know exactly when those front tires are getting close to that car. You want to know exactly where they're at so you can do your timing on your gas and all that stuff. So, you know, I'll just hang my head out here, right? Hang on this vent window and the other hand on the steering wheel. And you just drive up, and we put the rear steering on the left door, of course. So right there's my thumb, so I could do the rear steering. And, of course, the hood switch was there, too, so I could do the truck function from my left hand, which is out the window. My arm's out the window, but my hand's up on the ledge where I can work everything.
Uh-huh.
And I got a perfect field of vision.
Makes sense.
And it's just like, I got so used to that, you know, people say, when later on we start doing heavy stuff, I paid the piper for that.
Sure.
But I had in my head, this is how I did it. This is how I know I can do it the best. And this is the input I need to be able to function the truck the way I wanted to do it. And so that's how that came about. And later on, Jeff, just think of this. I mean, you hit these cars, you're flying in the air, right?
Yeah.
And you're coming down crooked to the left, let's say, driver's side.
Right.
Nose down, okay? So you're in the air, you get your head out the window, you can see exactly what the angle the truck's at. You can see how far off to the left you are. So you take the front steering wheel and just cock it a little bit to the left, and you cock the rear steering a little bit to the left. So when you hit it, your truck's not taking the full impact of a side load. It's driving into the direction the truck's going.
Uh-huh.
So it makes your suspension work a lot better. And as soon as it hits down, you know, first thing you do is hit the rear steer button, straighten it out, then follow it up with the front and go about your business. So, I mean, you don't blow tires off that way. You don't, more or less, you're saving your steering linkages and your hubs, the champagnes on those old, you know, planetaries. You save that. You just save a lot of wear and tear on parts that way, but you can't do it unless you can see what you're doing.
Well, that's true. I fully understand now. I really do. But, you know, as the sport grew in popularity, the trucks were doing wilder and wilder things. The suspensions were changing and stuff. So what was it like to follow that all the way through to, to when you retired? I guess, the different suspensions, and what was your favorite suspension on the truck when you were driving?
Well, okay, Jeff, you're going through my career here really fast, but that's all right. My favorite suspension on any truck is a Bigfoot 21, which I drove on my last ride.
Right.
I mean, that was a cream puff. That was light years ahead of anything I got to drive. The last thing I actually drove for, any time at all, a very short time, was number 10.
Yeah,
I went through number 8 and tested, we built that number 8 truck. Dan Patrick came in and helped us build that truck, and he and I, we tested that thing for a year, Jeff. It was the first truck, it was the first tube chassis truck ever built, the first tube chassis truck with any kind of a gas shock on it,
Right.
And I mean, it took a year of testing to get that thing straightened out. Now I had a good suspension, and like I used to go first, second, third as fast as I could, and maybe clear 7 cars. Or 8 cars. Well, here I am out in the field with number 8 coming up to stack a car, and I just burnt the gas. This had a 460 with a 4-barrel on it. When we first tested this truck, we want something to run every time,
Right.
We didn't put a lot of power in it. We just put a 460 with a nice cam, but a carburetor on it. And I come up these cars, not very fast at all, hit the gas and just clear 10 cars and hit the ground. Go, I think I'll do that again.
That was fun.
It was still rough by 21 standard or the newer shock trucks. It was still rough, but it was so much better than leaf springs.
Sure.
Leaf springs, you got 3-4 inches of travel, and you got about 3-4 inches of tire rebound basically in your tires, which you don't want, but you get it because of the weight. But anyway, so you're going from, even on the old truck like that, the number 8, we had a suspension limited on that too. It wasn't all that great, but it came on pretty nice, and it was softer. I think we might have had 13 inches suspension on the front, probably 16 on the back, which was unheard of, in the spring truck realm. This was just that much better.
Right.
And of course, like I said, number 8 was a great truck. Tell you a funny story about that. We're testing it, and we got Andy Brass out on the West Coast doing shows, and for Dave Matthews, not there quite a bit. We're staying in touch, and he asked me about the truck and all that. And I have always taken the newest truck. Every new truck I got. And, we tested this thing, and I drove it quite a bit and everything else. And he got back and says, Bob, let's give this truck to Andy. He goes, well, you always take the new truck. I go, yeah, but I want number 9. Because we had number 9 kind of cooking, the chrome alley truck. And the engine placement, after testing number 8, we figured out, we need to change some stuff to make this really work. Excuse me.
It's all right.
And anyway, Andy flies in. We're out the test track, and I said, Andy, this truck's, he's kind of been filling in on what's going on. I said, you can't turn this truck over, man. It's just great. You can't turn it over? No. So he gets out there. He's running around, hits the cars a couple of times, comes flying past up, throws this thing into a corner. Fast. Boop. Truck flips right over on top. Flips on his top and rolls and catches on the next tire, right? He gets out. He's madder than a hornet. Goddamn, Kramer, you said I couldn't turn this thing over. I said,
You sound like him.
I said, Andy, you throw it in the corner, the left front tire comes up, and you got to get out of the corner a little bit, get out of the gas. It tells you what it's going to do.
Right.
It tells you. He goes, God damn, you didn't tell me that. and I probably didn't. I just assumed, because we had talked a lot back and forth.
Sure.
And maybe I didn't tell him that. But the thing that really got it was, like 6 of us guys went over, here's this truck laying on its side. Like 6 guys took and just rolled it back over. Told him to get back in it. He looked at us. Time he got strapped in, we checked the oil and stuff, and said, take off. He went and finished, and he goes, it gave him an instant sense of security, like, wow, this thing's not going to fold up under me,
Right.
And I rolled it back up, and here I am driving it. So that was the biggest thing was it showed them, the strength of it, the reliability of it. My God, you can never do that with a steel body truck.
No,
That cab
no.
would be caved in.
Yeah.
Cab would be caved in. Ask me how I know. It'd be
Yeah,
caved
exactly.
in. And, you'd be, the guys in the shop be working 3 weeks double time trying to get a cab back on it.
Yeah, you weren't a very popular man then either, were you? With those guys?
No.
Not at all.
No, I mean, no, I tell you what, it was, and you just hated doing it because you didn't want to make work for them like that. They had enough. Our schedule was so heavy even at that time. That's when we were putting out a truck a year, trying to build a truck a year, trying to keep up with the schedule.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, last thing you wanted to do is roll one over and cause a big
Well, you know,
space like that.
you worked with some fabulous drivers back in the day like that, Andy Brass and Gene Patterson and stuff like that. What great guys to work with. I mean, they just had a passion for it, didn't they?
No, they did. We were so lucky. Jeff, for a while there, we had what I call a murder's row.
Uh-huh.
That's the old baseball term, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You had such great hitters. Everybody in your lineup hit.
Uh-huh.
Well, everybody in our truck lineup, we used to have promoters call up. I want Bigfoot number 4. I want Bigfoot number 3. I want Bigfoot number 6. And we quit putting numbers on them. It says, because you can't schedule like that.
Right.
You got to schedule a truck that's closest to where he's at and everything else. But the promoter come in, well, I don't know. I want you to drive. So, nope, he's going to drive. You watch him. And I put a driver in there who's driven some, training. And he finished the show, and the promoter invariably would say, well, you can send him back anytime. So each driver had to build their own rapport of respect with the promoters.
Right.
Because you've been around promoters, you know how they are.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah.
Oh, my God. They think they're getting second best and putting out good money. If you got a marquee truck and he's worried about the driver, well, you can't do that.
No, not at all.
You're paying money for a marquee truck. By God, you want a driver you trust in there. And I haven't had one of my drivers, for a while there. I can't say I never have, but the drivers always seem to pull through. You got like Eric Tack and Eric Meager and like you said, Patterson and Brass and my goddamn Runty came up through the ranks, and it just goes on and on. Just right down the line. I call it a murderer's row. I don't care who you get, who you pick, or who you get. You're getting a great driver.
Yeah, guaranteed. I can remember my first show when I was working for Torgerson, and they said, you're going to be working with Bigfoot this weekend. And I was like, no way, man, you're really joking. And he goes, no, you're going to be working with Bigfoot. And I was like, well, who's driving? They said, I don't know. We don't know that. And it ended up being Dan Runte. And just to watch the quality of the driving and the just the truck and the driver and everything, I was so more impressed than I already was that it was just amazing. I couldn't believe the quality built of the truck. You had guys that were fabricating that were they were artists, is what they were.
Yeah, there's an hour show right there talking about the mechanics we had.
Yes.
And what they did. You can't say enough. And our drivers, we go out on the road, we have to know how to fix the trucks, basically. We can only go so far. And then we need a shop guy, basically.
Right.
You're going to start welding and changing tubes and stuff like that. Well, our drivers aren't, most of, except Andy Brass, he could do that. But most of them aren't versed in that. But the mechanics taught our drivers how to to tune and do light engine work and change this and change that and change most every part on the truck we could do a change out. Now, if it didn't require construction, we could handle that pretty much on the road. But you can't say enough about our guys back there. Without them, every driver knew when he left that Bigfoot in his trailer was 100% ready to go.
Yeah.
He came through the shop, it was 100% ready to go. And if it was not, the mechanic would say, look, we can only go so far with this, and he'd tell you exactly where you're at with that and how to avoid messing that up.
Right.
Basically.
Right, yeah.
And so until they could get time to fix it 100%. But, my God, Roy Hoosier, Kenny Kelling's in there, Jay Diekman. I mean, there's just Bob Palfreyman was the oldest guy there. I don't think there's nothing he couldn't do between him and Roy. They just figure shit out, and they would figure it out to make it better. Yeah. Back to the trucks again, like the Murderers Row. Well, we couldn't have the quality of truck. You were impressed with the quality of the truck. Well, that falls back on our mechanics too, because when they put that truck out, like we said, it's 100%. Our drivers went out there knowing that they had a good horse under them, and they drove accordingly. We always said, hey, you're the marquee truck. You got to do something a little better. They expect this. We want this guy to call us back and work for them again. Right. And invariably they did. We didn't have too much trouble with that. We had a little time when Bigfoot was out, and Bigfoot commanded more money. They just did, for all the reasons you just pointed out. And for a while there, everybody was building monster trucks, and they were just cutthroat. Oh, yes, they were. The guy goes, I get 2-3 trucks what I pay for you. Okay. And we just basically just let them go do it. They're going to do it anyway, but they just got to rub it in our face, Well, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And for a year there, we didn't work quite as hard. We still had business, don't get me wrong. But we had promoters drop out and try different people. And next year, they're calling us again.
Yeah. I believe that. I've been there knowing that they did that.
I got 6 trucks and only 2 of them ran at the end of the night. Yeah.
Oh, what a nightmare.
You know that. I mean, you look at you covering stuff like that. That's just terrible.
It is. There's nothing worse as trying to keep a show flowing when you start out with 5 race trucks and you come back the second half and you have 1.5 and you're trying to make a show. That's tough. And you're looking around and it's all these $2,500 a weekend trucks that break the first time they hit, and you're just like, we had Bigfoot last weekend and we did so well. Why can't we just do that? Why can't we just have Bigfoot at every show? And I mean, I used to complain and cry like a baby because I couldn't. I would show up and it would be these junk trucks, and I'm just like, oh my God, why me? Why me? So, yeah, it was tough. You guys, you spoiled us announcers. I promise you that for sure.
I can't tell you how many times we went to shows and we would invariably have to run. A promoter would have maybe 2 or 3 pretty decent trucks and then fill-ins, right?
Yes.
B and C trucks. I don't want to knock anybody's truck, but They were B and C trucks. It's just what they were. They didn't have the time or the money or maybe the know-how how to build a better truck. But they would come out, and I talked to the fans and said, oh, yeah, we came Friday night because we know these guys won't run them all night. The fans tell me that all the time. Tell me that all the time. Oh, yeah, we come the first night. We never come second night. Half these trucks won't run.
Oh, guaranteed. I've heard it myself. I really have. Be at a display, and they're like, is there any way we can get Friday tickets? Because we know Saturday's going to be a disaster. And you're like, well, Saturday's the only days I got left, man. I'm sorry, Oh, come on, you got a Friday ticket on you. It's like, I don't have Friday tickets, they were done, and everybody wanted them for sure.
And, I'll never ditch on a guy's truck or driving abilities. They were just out there doing what they wanted to do, having fun. Some were trying to make it in the industry. Some of them weren't. Some of them you roll into a place, and this guy's been building, he lives there. He's been building his truck for 6 years, never had a chance to get it out and do nothing. And, of course, the promoter says, well, I don't know if I want to pay you. Come out and show me what you do, and I might pay you. You know how that goes, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
They get these guys to show up for peanuts or nothing. And they come out and they try to just, oh, my God. They get, there's a price on Bigfoot said all the time. All these guys want to kill Bigfoot so they get some notoriety.
Right.
So they come out and these trucks are breaking. And I would feel sorry for them, but that just was the way of the world for a while.
It was. It really was, and that's when I learned it was A, B, and C trucks, and that you figure out, hey, okay, what do I got? What do I got this weekend? And you're like, oh, okay, I got a couple A's, I got a B, and then I got a C. So it's not going to be a bad weekend, and it usually turned out to be a good one. But you could always count on the Bigfoot drivers to help carry the show. I don't know how many times that I looked at Dan and I was like, dude, you got to save the show, man. It's up to you. And he'd go out there and do something spectacular, and it was just fabulous. It really was. I mean, it was nice to have one of you guys there for sure. So, when you were racing full time, who was your biggest competitor? Who was your rival? I guess I would say.
I didn't race as much as most people did because I did a lot of the bigger stadium shows. I did some movie stuff, commercial stuff.
Sure.
But there's other guys on race circuits that got to race. When I did get to race people, they were good people. I think Gary Porter comes to mind. Gary Porter always had his shit together. He had a four-wheel drive shop. He knew parts.
Right.
I'd see him at the PRI shows, shopping parts just like me. And he's the guy that turned me on some good transmission parts one time because I was having transmission trouble. He took me over to his trailer and said, "Man, you need to do this." And we tore a transmission apart there right in his trailer, and he showed me some stuff. He's a pretty smart guy.
Uh-huh.
And a great competitor. Cool as a cucumber, man. He was good. He was always a tough competitor. God, I don't know. He really kind of comes to mind. Oh, the guys. Oh, the little arenas, the short Jeeps. Those little guys from Washington State.
Yes.
Hot stuff. Little Jeeps.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, they were easy to beat on any kind of big course because the Jeeps couldn't take the cars with the wheelbase. So you could fly out the cars to get down and everything else. But in these short little arenas, man, they could turn on a dime and give you 9 cents change.
Yeah, guaranteed. I like that. Can I use that saying? I like that.
Use it all you want.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
From one full of shit guy to the next, you can use it. Anyway, when it comes to stuff like that, you could beat him once in a while, but I'll tell you what, Jeff Baynard had those two little Jeeps. The boy was tough.
Yes.
He had good parts. He's a smart guy, and Jeff and I are still friends, as a lot of these guys, we're still friends. But, yes, they were tough. You hate to see them in the short course. Oh, boy, you got to earn your money tonight. Sometimes you prevailed, sometimes you did. Can't win them all.
Right.
And stuff like that. Oh, Fred Schaefer, he was a good competitor.
Sure.
I always liked running him. Fred, one thing about old Fred, I'm not dissing on him, nothing. He had some fast trucks, but sometimes he had trouble duplicating a run. Mm-hmm. He'd make a fast pass, and the next run he wouldn't. So he was, when he was on, he was on. He was a good competitor. But there was times that he was a little not haphazard, I'm saying hit and miss that way.
Right.
But when he was on, though, look out. Hell of a competitor. So there's guys out there with some great trucks. There's some East Coast guys, but I never got to run much on the East Coast. Guys like Eric Tack did Aaron Polburn shows and all that stuff. And I got to run a fair circuit. Fred and I were on a fair circuit.
I did a lot of them.
There's a guy. We're on this track. I'm trying to think of the name. Somewhere in Pennsylvania. Hagerstown, I think it was. And we're driving a truck and these little 2 cars, 2 sets. And I think I was driving number 8 at the time. But number 8, the track was just as such. You get over the first set of cars and you're gouging that thing in first gear and you hit second just when you hit the cars. Well, that put enough torque push in the truck that would turn it sideways in the air. And here you are sideways in the air and you're trying to counteract that, but still variably, I blew my back tire off every run.
Uh-huh.
Off the rim, just pushed it off. Even trying to play the angle and everything else. I come back to the pits, flip, 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 flip. I think Eric Jack was there. He had the jack ready, we jack it up. We had a compressor going, we air it up. And Fred was having trouble too. We both it was hard on trucks. That little track was hard. So anyway, the last pass, I'm racing Fred, and I beat him, but I blew the tire and it rolled me over. Okay, it rolled me over, and I get out of the truck, and somebody said, Fred drove over the top of you, don't you? Fred had come out of his lane into my lane and drove over me as I was rolling over.
Oh my God!
And then he hit the ground and rolled over too. I had no idea he did that. I said, "Are you shitting me?" I said, "No, no, he drove right over the top of you."
Look at the tire marks on the side of your truck. Well, you
And
know.
then we're out. Then we're out in that same tour, and had trouble on the line. Had alcohol motor, and it coughed on the first set of cars. It coughed, and here I had a fire inside. I guess I had an injector line leaking. Didn't know it, so it's putting alcohol in the cab
Oh, man.
to the Lex hand, and boom, it coughed. I feel this intense heat in my hand. Well, I'm looking at the shifter, and the plastic's melting off my shifter.
Oh, man.
The truck's rolling forward, right? Now, it died because it coughed. I dove out the window, hit the ground, rolled over one time. The truck's rolled up the ramp, is rolling backwards down the ramp, and I got between the tires. It's rolling, grabbed the fire extinguisher, and put the fire out. And end up, it cost me instead of, I had to put the strip cap and wires and a few things and fix that damn fuel line for sure. And then the next day we were racing and got really thrown off to one side. And here's this guardrail pretty close to the track where in my lane. So the truck hit the guardrail sideways, basically. It straddled it. We had a big skid plate on these trucks for a while. Here I am sliding down the guardrail on the skid plate.
Oh, man. Kind of like these skateboarders on these rails.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sliding down there a pretty good distance because I was hauling ass. And I get stopped, and I looked underneath, and 4-link bars got a few scratches in them, but they're a 1/4 inch thick.
Sure.
Chromoly tempered, so it didn't really hurt them. Scratched them up. The skid plate was all scratched up. And bought a tractor out there and picked the front end up and put it off the guardrail and picked the back end, put it off the guardrail, started up and went back to pits and got ready for the next run.
Wow.
Just crazy stuff like that happens.
Oh, man. Well, you spent several years behind the wheel, and then all of a sudden you get out of the seat, and you go into like vice president of operations, and focusing on research and development and stuff like that. That was a very important job, and I know you well enough that you took that job very seriously.
Well, it was interesting. I always want to make something better.
Right.
And by me doing it, I knew what could be better. Like we started using these gas shocks. Went to California and saw Bob Giesian had these shocks, had aluminum barrels on them. But, we liked the concept and wondered if we could change the concept for a monster truck. It was a gamble because his biggest shock was 18 inches long. That was it. We needed something bigger than that. I think it was 12 even. It might have been 12. Some of them were 12. And we got back and went and redesigned the thing, got rid of the aluminum barrel for the steel barrel because aluminum just didn't hold up at all. Changed the shim packs, changed the little piston design on it, and then start, like I say, number 8, John Peterson and he's since passed recently, and he was a shock guy with me. And between the two of us, we worked a lot on shock absorbers. We hit them apart all the time. And trying to change this and change that and make a little bit of progress here. But then you're changing the shock. You go out to the test track, which you can't do all the time with weather and schedule and everything else. So you make a change, but then you can't really duplicate it. A driver can't make the same run twice.
Right.
I don't care what you do. It's just not going to end up. So you never got the proper reading on the shocks the way you'd like to. You kind of get close. And I got talking to, I would go to PRI shows and I would talk to all these manufacturers. And we had a sponsor. I got sponsored with Parker Hydraulics. And we did their hoses and fittings and all that. And I'm talking to him about this. I'd like to be able to check this. He goes, man, I think I got something you could use. So he sends me this computer, that does this program. And he says, okay, I'll send you a sensor. I'll send you, 2 sensors and a potentiometer. And what we're going to do, we put a pressure sensor on the nitrogen side and a pressure sensor on the oil side. And then we put a potentiometer on it to see shock travel. So we put that on there. Once again, you're out there in the field trying to test. with its equipment on, it's getting beat up. It's just not. It's better, but it's not working. Then you get back to the shop guys. Roy Hoosier goes, "We'll just build this shock dyno." So he gets this big freaking piece of I-beam. He puts it from the floor to the ceiling in the shop. He makes a trolley, and we put tractor weights on it. We got this thing weighing between 1,000 and 1,100 pounds. And you pull it up with a winch, and you had a pull ring on the winch cable. You pull ring, and that weight would follow that trolley down the beam and hit your shock. You had a shock mounted. And by God, we had indicators on 6 foot, 7 foot, 9 foot, or like 11 feet, right? So we could take it up to 6 foot every time and make a drop. And we wouldn't tear up our sensors and stuff like that. So we started getting some really good computer readings. So we could see that, shit, all right. I thought, we were building so much pressure inside that shock. We never built over 1,200 pounds of pressure in the shock, no matter how hard you pushed it. And we built that shock. We tested it in the back when we first built it with a hydraulic pump and stuff. It put like 3,000 pounds in it, in the components to make sure they wouldn't fly apart. We thought we were going to build that much pressure.
Sure.
So we put it in the garbage can, run along hydraulic hoses in the backyard there, and start pumping this thing up, man. I think we got 3,200 pounds and we quit. We figured, it's not going to be that bad, So to come to find out, the highest pressure reading I ever got was 1,200, because then the shims would open. And when the shims open, it would let the oil bypass, and of course it would drop the pressure in the cylinder. So here we are. We got to where we could make all these drops and change one shim and see what the difference is, and change another shim and see what the difference is. And we see the slowdown rate. So we see what the pressure rate is, what the slowdown rate is, and pretty soon we're mapping what this shock is doing. Exactly. And then we got really wild and put bypasses on them. So you see the main shim pack open, and you come down and see the bypass open, and see the next bypass open. So you knew exactly what was going on. You could adjust them accordingly. So we had, for a while there, drivers would go out and do a show at one shock set and get out and have the crew guy change the shocks on the bypasses, and it would change the way the shock handle for freestyle.
Wow.
So you could go back and forth on that. But that's R&D part, and finding the right components. I had to go one time with ZF, and I knew the guy was ZF. He was a good friend of mine. Got to be really good friends. He supplied axle parts and stuff.
Right.
He goes, I want to fly you to Chicago. I want you to talk to the Society of Engineers. We got a meeting up there, and I told him I was going to bring a speaker up. I go, so why'd you bring me? Oh, come on, man. You do all right. I said, I'm no freaking engineer.
Right.
I'm a backyard idiot trying to make stuff work, right?
Right.
So I get in front of probably 18 engineers out there. These guys all got degrees. They're in heavy equipment engineering, cylinders and axles and everything else. And I get up and I start talking about Bigfoot and all this stuff. And I told them, I says, we build this, we try to build that, and we run into a roadblock. We don't know. So we call people like you. I'm not afraid to pick up the phone and I'll talk to an engineer and tell him my problem and see if I can get an answer. We don't know what's going on. It's engineers like you help build this. We couldn't do it without your expertise.
Right.
So I made them the good guys. Okay, by making them the good guys, 12 different engineers gave me their business cards. It says, you need anything, you call me.
Wow.
So it went well. I had the background. Of course, I had Bigfoot to talk about, and that's always interesting. But then on the engineering side, I just sucked them in, and it's the truth. I mean, I wasn't really sucking them in. The Parker Hydraulics guy was amazing. Let me use their tools and give me a rundown on how the program works and all that. Because usually, we got pretty smart guys back in the shop. All he had to do is point us the right direction with some tools, and we could probably make something happen.
Right. Wow. Well, this is probably, we're kind of bouncing all over here as far as that, but let's
you. It's not me, buddy. It's you.
I know. Let's talk about 1987 and the then world record in jumping Bigfoot number 6, 70 feet, 13 cars. What was that like?
Oh man, I wish we had more room. I think it was Pontiac Silverdome, was it not?
Yes, sir. I think it was.
Yeah, and Silverdome. You familiar with that? You've been up there?
I've only seen it in pictures. I never. That's kind of like. I guess. Excuse me. I guess that would be kind of an announcer's dream place to announce. My dream place got to be Cardinal Stadium when I was working for AMP. I got to go to a big stadium like that. But the Pontiac Silverdome is legendary.
Oh, it had the reverse. It had the worst double echo.
Right.
Oh my God! You had to really listen, and you had to be careful on the mic to talk really slow, because otherwise everything was garbled and double echo. Nobody could understand what you're saying. But anyway, you're familiar with the floor. It's a pretty big floor, but then they had a ramp where you come in. And they had the big door it's an airlock door. So here they set it up, get the car set up, and I'm backed up this ramp. Nobody can see me at all. I'm up the ramp, right? So I come down shooting off that ramp, and of course, boom, I did a drive-by. You got to do an Evel Knievel thing, right?
Sure.
You do a drive-by, and you kind of wave to people, and you back up, and then the announcer hypes it up. So I get down, fast as I can go, first, second, third gear. And I'm hitting these cars, and I got the cameras all went boom, just a flash attack. It was kind of cool. But came down, everything, was okay. But we cleared that many cars. It could have been more, but I was going about as fast as I could. Because we're hitting cars, we weren't hitting the ramp. When like Dan Runty jumped that airplane,
yes,
we took a transit out there. We built the ramp we wanted for that trajectory. The face had to be so many degrees and so long and everything else, because you hit that ramp, your suspension bottom, and as your suspension is coming off and throwing the truck back up, your tires and your shocks are throwing the truck back up. You want to be right at that spot where you leave the ramp. But back in the dome, we just had cars.
Right.
So you didn't get the lift, basically, that you wanted. But anyway, it worked out. And about a year later, I'm in the dome, and they sent me upstairs to the main offices for something. I had to talk to somebody. So I'm walking down this long hall. And down this long hall, they had beautiful, big pictures framed of events that went on in the dome. And they had the Pope there, they had Rolling Stones, they had all these big acts that came to the dome. And they had and I'm walking down, and I see Bigfoot number 6 flying through the air with all these cameras flashing. I made the wall down there, man. I wanted that picture so bad. And I could not get that picture.
No matter how hard you tried, huh?
No, I tried and tried. And somebody said the city of Detroit still has it. I don't know. But if there's any picture I wanted at all, it would have been that one. It was just so cool to see such a good picture in a panoramic. You got the whole dome. You got everybody in it.
Wow.
And instructions flying through the air, and everybody's taking pictures, and it's like, damn. So that was cool.
That made you feel good that you were on the Wall of Fame with the Pope and the Stones and everybody else, huh? That's like royalty.
What do you think?
Oh man, I'd still be going down the street going, did I ever tell you I was on the wall? I'd still be telling the story, to be honest with you.
I'm a Midwestern farm boy. Grew up with an outhouse and no running water. Swear to God.
Right. Wow.
So, and here I am on the wall with all these big acts
next to the Pope.
Bigfoot's on the wall. Okay, I'm operating, but Bigfoot's on the wall.
But you're the man behind the wheel. You're making the truck do what it did, and that's all there is to it. Wow.
There was never Bigfoot's philosophy though. Bigfoot,
no.
We built a brand. It was Bigfoot.
Right.
The drivers gained notoriety over a period of years because people connected with them. The truck didn't sign the autographs. The drivers did, and drivers had personality. So, but when we first started, it was never about the driver. It was always about the truck.
Right. Yeah. It was last year or this year really, when we lost our buddy Dan. And that was one of the hardest days of my life from in the monster truck world. I mean, I've seen a lot of wrecks and I've seen a lot of bad things, but to lose a good friend, because Dan wasn't just a driver to me, he was a friend. And that had to be just devastating on you guys, because he was such a presence in the Bigfoot organization.
No, that's all true. And we just went to the Bigfoot Christmas party Friday night, and the new crop of guys that got in there, and Dan mentored all of them. I mean, he kept them all together. He was the glue, He taught them how to work and how to be together.
Right.
And to see the camaraderie between all these young guys, no attitudes. Everybody was, my God, you got a good group of guys here. He's talking about Trent. You got a really good group of guys.
Right.
And a lot of that comes from Dan.
Right.
One of the drivers got me aside. He said, he straightened me out. He got me aside, and my life was in a shithole. He says, he got me out of it. He said, he told me how to live and what to do. And I've been doing that. It's working. Yeah. I mean, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy. He just tell you like it is. Dan didn't pull any punches.
No, not at all.
You don't care if you liked it or not.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you what's on his mind.
Yeah.
But a more personable, friendly guy, you want anybody else to represent you. And then being a 120% driver on top of that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. And I'm, like I said, I'm doing a monster truck, toughest monster truck tour. You're familiar with that, right? Toughest monster truck tour.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good trucks.
Yes.
Good trucks. And I'm doing some shows with Larry Swim. Larry Swim, great, exciting, dynamic driver.
Guaranteed.
But tore shit up. No, he did. I mean, but by God, he got the job done. And he's a great guy and everything else, but different driving styles. We ended up working the truck a lot.
Right.
And so Larry hurts his back. So Dan slides in. Dan hasn't driven for a while. Hasn't been on a tour or nothing. Comes sliding in. And we're talking before the show. And I think I did 5 shows with him. Anyway, we're talking before the show, and I go, we usually do this, and we usually get back to the hotel about 2 o'clock in the morning after, fix this stuff. He looked at me and he said, Kramer, what are you talking about? I said, we're going to the hotel tonight. I go, yeah, okay, great. I'm all for it, buddy. He goes out there, waxes these guys' butts, makes it look easy, comes back, not a thing hurt on the truck. We check the filter, we check the drive line, we check all the bolts, and we go back to the hotel.
Right.
He finished that tour up with 5 shows, never broke apart.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I'm telling you, and he cleaned them. I mean, he won all the shows.
Right. Well, that's the.
There's some good ass trucks out there, man. I'm telling you.
They're guaranteed. I used to go to the show up here in Loveland all the time, and that's where he won the series. I mean, for the toughest truck. And Dan was amazing. I remember we were in Alexandria, Louisiana one year, and he went over a stack of cars, and the truck went on its side, and he's looking at, I know he was thinking, please don't hit that kill radio. I think I can save it. And it just got so close that they hit the kill radio, and the truck just did a soft rollover on the side. And Dan got out of the truck, and he wasn't mad. He understood that it had to be done like that. But he was so upset that he couldn't save that truck. He thought that he gave Bigfoot a bad name because it rolled on its side, and it ruined his night there for a long time. And we were sitting there at dinner, and he was in this mood. And I said, hey, bud, I said, man, you did a good job. I mean, I said, the truck's not hurt. Nothing's hurt on the truck. He says, yeah, but he said, I didn't do Bigfoot justice. I said, you did Bigfoot a big justice, man. I said, the crowd was happy, everybody was happy, and in the autograph lines, they were talking to you, everything was fine. And I said, and you didn't hurt the truck, man. I mean, we rolled it back over, and we were done, and nothing was wrong. I said, you did a fabulous job, and but he just took it really personal about stuff like that, and I could see why. It was just the kind of driver that he was,
Well, he was like that, but I'm telling you, myself and these drivers, murderers, road drivers I was telling you about, they all felt the same way.
Uh-huh.
They did not want to let the crowd down.
No, not at all.
And you say, well, why do you drive? You know, you don't get paid enough to do this. You work too many hours. You're away all the time, but you get addicted to the fans.
You do.
You just work the whole week for that 15 or 20 minutes, a glory you get, a glory just being able to entertain them and make them happy.
That's the truth.
And all of us drivers felt the same way. You know, you did not want to disappoint.
No, not at all. And it was just, it was something that we, you know, you were so right. We did get addicted to the fans. I mean, to the crowd. It was just, it was amazing. That the year I retired. I mean, that next year, I was just going through withdrawals because I wasn't in front of the people, and you just love the entertainment fact of it, you know, and being able to be out there in front of it. And all I did was announce the show, but I was addicted to the crowd.
I'm gonna go back to a crowd story. I'm in the Silverdome, and the Silverdome was where the Ford people were. All the big sponsors, Ford was up there, and I was gold in the Silverdome. And I couldn't finish the show in my hometown, St. Louis. I broke every time. I'm in the Silverdome. I was golden, right? So I was up there, and I'd run hard, and I always had some good runs. And I make this pass, I make this race pass, and I come back in. I think it might have been even Gene Patterson was with me. I go, Gene, something's wrong. I hear this funny noise. I make a pass, and I hear this. I don't know what this is. Check it over really good. And this is a time where, you know, the rounds were close enough that you had to run like 3 rounds, and they did something else, and you run a couple more rounds. He said, Jim, I can't find nothing. Everything looks really good. I said, you sure? I go, yeah. So I go out and I make another pass. And I come back and said, man, I think I heard it a little bit louder. He says, it's like a rumble. Something's wrong. He come back, he assured me, he says, man, you're good to go. I mean, you are. So here I go with the third pass out there, and the guy was racing, and I saw him in the corner of my eye. He spun out. So I backed off just a little bit, and I'm going around, and I looked at the crowd. And I was going around. They were all standing on their feet yelling. This noise that I'm hearing through earplugs, through a helmet, inside the truck with open headers right behind me. Right. I could still hear the crowd. That's the noise I was hearing. Like 50, 60,000 people start yelling. My God, I could not freaking believe it.
It's a rush.
They're all on their feet and just waving their arms and yelling.
Yeah.
I go, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
That was a blew me away moment.
It's the truth. And I used to, as an announcer, I used to tell the crowd, you know, ladies and gentlemen, the more noise you make, the better this man's going to drive, because he can definitely hear you when you're screaming and yelling. And there was nothing better than when you got any size big crowd in there, or a smaller crowd in a smaller building, to start screaming and yelling. I mean, it just fired you guys up. It fired me up. I know that for sure.
How about these small arenas with the flat roofs?
Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
Or a big scoreboard in the middle, and you have to kind of jump and almost hit the scoreboard or something like that. Oh yeah.
Dude, most of us drivers, we were trying one night. We were trying to hit that damn scoreboard. Get up there, boom! Yeah, man, you got within 4 feet.
Yeah.
I forget who got the closest, but it wasn't me. But I mean, we were trying to hit the scoreboard.
That's funny. That's funny.
To tap it, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick break. I want to play the new song about you, and we'll be back here in just a minute. And we've already been on an hour, my brother, and it goes by fast just because they're great stories. So if you'll just sit tight for a minute, we'll be back here in just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. This is a song that I wrote for my best friend and one of my buddies right here, Jim Kramer. So we'll be right back. This is called The Legend.
I gotta see a man about a dog.
Born January 6, 1951, St. Louis, Missouri, where the hard work's done. Didn't come looking for a stage or crown, just stealing stealing dirt and a motor sound. Worked beside Bob Chandler, learned to trade Bigfoot dreams and the plans they made. Then July of '82, the wheel came round. Bigfoot, one new driver in town. One of 'em out the window, head hanging low, looking at the cars before he let it go. Calm in the chaos, steady in the dust, held that wheel on feel and trust. If you saw Bigfoot walk like he knew the way, that was Jim Kramer putting on a display. One arm out the window, fear out of sight, that's how legends drive on a Saturday night. Tire walks high, crowd holding breath, balanced on the line between thunder and death. Aggressive style, but smooth and clean. Knew what the truck meant, knew what it mean. 5, 6, 9, 20, 21. Every truck told the crowd who he was. When monster trucks were learning to fly, Jim Kramer already read the sky. One arm out the window, head hanging low, staring down steel before he'd go. Oil and dirt and a motor's trust, holding it together in smoke and rust. If the ground shook twice and the lights went wide, that was Jim Kramer on in the night. One arm out the window, fear out of sight, that's how legends drive on a Saturday night. On a Saturday night. 1987, Bigfoot 6, 70 feet, 13 cars in the mix. Crowd went silent, engines cried, then he lifted that truck and let it fly. When the dust came down, the world knew then. Monster trucks crossed a brand new end. That jump still echoes in history. A blues note band and machinery. From research labs to training grounds, teaching young drivers how to keep it sound. Vice President building something true, so every driver knew what to do. From movie lights to stadium roar, Roadhouse ran, the crowd wanted more. When the helmet came off, the fire stayed strong. He turned grease and steel into wood and wire. Fixing old guitars, chasing tone and fire. Same steady hand, same patient feel. Like driving Bigfoot, every move was real. Hall of Fame called in 2012 for a life spent giving more than in himself. Retired in 16 but never gone. Still Bigfoot strong, still moving on. 2023, one final ride. Bigfoot 21 rolling wide. One more pass, one last sound. A legend letting it touch the ground. One arm out the window, head hanging low, still showing the world how a legend rolls. Steel in the throttle, calm in his hands. Built this whole sport the way it stands. Still alive, still strong, still setting the tone. Every time Bigfoot flies, his mark is shown. One arm out the window, bold and true. That's Jim Kramer, driving Big Blue straight through. Driving Big Blue straight through. St. Louis, Missouri, hear that sound? Bigfoot rolling when Jim Kramer's around. One arm out the window, steady and true. Jim Kramer showing how Bigfoot moves.
Hey guys, we'll be right back in a minute here with more of Mr. Jim Kramer. We got to pay a few bills. This is Pedal to the Metal. Hey, lug nuts. Need pick me up to start your day? Then it's time to go to Rise and Grind. At Rise and Grind Coffee in Parker, Colorado, you'll find everything from bold espressos to creamy lattes to refreshing chai teas and smoothies. Whether you love it regular or decaf, we've got the perfect cup waiting for you. Hungry? Grab a hot breakfast burrito and a fresh muffin to go with your drink. And don't forget to check in on our merchandise. Perfect gift for any coffee lover. Planning on an event? Rise and Grind brings coffee to you with our family-equipped portable coffee trailer. Perfect for weddings, meetings, celebrations of any kind. Stop by at 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker or give us a call at 480-212-3787. That's 480-212-3787. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day one cup at a time. Hey, lug nuts, take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 6ix9ine Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 6ix9ine Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 graphics and design. Or go to 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9design. All right, guys. All right, we're back. We're back here in the studio, and we're talking to Mr. Jim Kramer, the legend from Bigfoot. And Jim, you know, like I said, the time goes by fast when you're sitting there talking and having a good time. And you know, we've been talking a little bit about everything, and I've been kind of jumping all over. But let's talk about the movies. Talk about doing the movies and like Roadhouse and Police Academy. It was number 2, correct?
No, it's number 6.
Number 6.
Can you hear me okay, Jeff? I'm trying something different on my phone. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's you. The other way was a little stronger, but I can still hear you.
Okay, is this any better?
It's about the same. About the same.
Okay, hang on.
All
We'll go
right.
back then. Hang on.
All right.
All right, we're back where we were. Is that better?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, the other way was still okay.
All right. Well, we'll cruise here. I think I need some of that Rise and Grind coffee that will get me started, you know. It's like 9:30 where I live, so it's past my bedtime.
They got some good coffee, I'll guarantee you that right now. They really do. But let's
Use them at 6ix9ine Graphics, boy. I'll be cruising and cruising, wouldn't they?
You could, yes, guaranteed. They do fabulous work, man. I mean, he makes all my stickers and all the stuff that I do, my giveaways and different things like that. He designed the background of the studio and stuff like that. So yeah, he's a good man to have in your court. I promise you that right now.
People don't know Bigfoot relies so much on vinyl images that people we use. They actually moved to Pacific. So they do a lot of work with Bigfoot and other people. And nowadays, you know, you paint a truck and you bang, you put a decal on it.
Right.
You know, I come to find out from a friend of mine that the lifespan of a body on a monster truck with Feld Entertainment is 2.5 shows.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy? I laughed. I says, "You're nuts." He goes, "Nope, 2.5 shows is all we expect to get."
But look what they're doing. I mean, the stuff that they're doing with these trucks at Feld, you know, I mean, wow. I mean,
oh yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I love to see the progression here and the technique, the expertise of what they're actually doing.
Yes.
Defying physics half the time.
Yes,
But you know, it's great. It's a great organization, and they put on a hell of a show.
Back in the day, it was called controlled crashing, right? And now they do it on purpose. You know, I can remember a bunch of times guys going off the ramps and landing on their front wheels and like, oh, they're going to go over. But never anybody that wanted to do it on purpose, you know, and go up on the nose and drive it around and do all the stuff they do. They are amazing drivers. They really are.
It's a whole nother. We've talked a long time about that, I tell you.
Oh, guaranteed.
But you were going back to movies?
Yeah, let's talk about the movies. And I know that you've been on here a while, and we'll go ahead and we can always in some place and always have you back on, because we are going to do a tribute show to Dan Runte, and I would love to have you get back on. And people are going to call in and talk about their Dan Runte stories, and we can always finish up different things like that. So we have a lifetime together, my friend.
All right, dude. If I get kind of long in the tooth there, you just tell me to shut up.
No, I'll never do that. Never.
Okay,
never.
talk about movies. Which one you want to talk about first?
Let's just talk about, was Roadhouse your first one, right?
No, Police Academy 6
Okay.
was the first one. I doubled in some of these. I was a double for, you'll never guess who I was a double for, Bubba Smith of the Dallas Cowboys.
But you guys are so much alike,
I get it. He's much more handsome than I am.
Yeah.
I'll tell him so if he's standing there.
Right. So is it the behind the scenes with the actors and different things like that? They're skilled in acting and stuff, and I bet you they were amazed at you with your driving skills and stuff.
Well, Police Academy 6 was we had to do a few things that you get producers get wild ideas. And you got to tone them down.
Sure.
I had to drive one tire up on the dock and the other tires on cars, which is hard to do because the surfaces are different. So it kept wanting to pull you off the dock. But I was actually chasing the car, and there's a traffic jam, so I had to get past the traffic jam. So I had to go across these like 8 or 9 cars and back on the street to chase a guy. Part of the chase scene, we did that in the movie. But then producer said, okay, we're going to put a car out in the middle of the intersection, and I want you to just hit that car.
Oh, wow.
And fly over it and keep going. This is a big ongoing chase scene. And I said, okay. He says, and there'll be a stunt man in the back hanging on the roll bar.
Oh, no.
And I go, no, there won't be. No, we're going to do it. I said, I can't. I'll kill him. I'll hit that car. He'll get thrown in front of me, and I won't be able to stop for it and run over him.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, no. And of course, the stunt man, okay, stunt coordinator's there. And here's this pumped up man who does this kind of shit all the time. Not quite like this, but does crazy stuff. He goes, I can hold on to anything. I said, there's no way you can physically hold on to that roll bar when I hit these cars. I'm going to throw you completely over the front of the truck. Guarantee you. You will not. I can hold on to anything. This is nothing. This is a piece of cake. And producer goes, he says he can do it. I says, I'm not killing him. I'm not doing the scene.
Right.
Like that. And we're talking. And finally, I says, you got any harnesses? And stunt coordinator go, well, yeah. You got a harness you could put on him and put a deadbolt in the back of the bed there and cable him into the bed so he doesn't get thrown over the top. Well, yeah, we can do that, but that's a lot of work for nothing. I said, if you do that, I'll do the same. Otherwise, I'm not doing the same. So they put a deadbolt in the back of the bed and cabled him to the harness in a position where he's standing with his 2 hands on the light bar. So I come and I hit that thing and come down the other side because it really throws you up. One car is a bitch.
Yeah.
It throws you up and you come down and slam down. It's hard. And anyway, I did the scene, and here's a stuntman laying in the back of the truck. He's hardly moving. He's groaning. He's moaning. It slapped him so hard in the back of that bed. And they even put a false floor in. They put like a cushion and a 2x4 or 4x4. 4x8 feet of plywood back there. Get a false floor so it had some cushion. He was beat up.
Oh, I believe it.
And the stunt coordinator and the movie guy goes, damn, you'd have killed him. I said, yes, I would have. I would have killed him, and I'm thankful I didn't kill him. To tell you the truth, I didn't hit the car as fast as I was going to. I actually backed off. And anyway, he gets out. They get him. They take him and get him all checked out. And he come back just bandaged up in a few places and bruised. And he sat there. He got paid for the whole movie, but he never did another thing in the movie. He was recuperating.
and thanking you for every minute of his life.
And the producer goes, anything with this truck gets done, you talk to him first.
There you go.
That was it.
Yeah.
So I became the safety coordinator for that show.
Uh-huh.
Which bled over into Full Throttle. Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle.
Yep.
Where Dan and I think Eric Tack drove in that. I was the safety coordinator for that show. They found out I was going to be on the show, and these producers talked. He says, "You make him your safety manager." So I got there. I got saddled with that right away. But anyway, that was, because, like I said, we would have killed the guy.
Sure.
And, I'm thankful he was in one piece doing that. I still didn't want to do it, but, you get pressured pretty hard to do stuff. And I said, well, at least he won't fly out the front. I know that. He might get pulled apart back there, but I won't run over him.
Well, better to be bruised and banged than dead, right?
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed.
And they had a scene where he had to drive underneath the bridge, and the guy in the back of the truck jumps up and grabs this bar underneath this bridge. It's a trapeze bar, and he's supposed to do it. Now, he's in a bucket truck. Yeah, I'm chasing an electric bucket truck, and he's in the bucket. So he's supposed to grab onto this bar and do a couple of swings around, and I follow in the bucket truck, and he lands in the back of the truck as I'm driving. Okay, pretty cool scene if you can do it. There's a lot of things that have to connect.
Yes.
And the thing that didn't work was you couldn't get a stuntman that could do the trapeze about making a swing around the bar and timing it where he'd land on my truck. So they actually had to go out and get a gymnast. And they cut this thing, and had the guy grab and get up, and here's the gymnast, goes around, and I come cruising in, boom, he lands in the back of the truck. And we continue the chase scene. So there's a lot of stuff goes on behind the camera. And I remember that, working on that movie, and I'm talking to one of the guys, says, "See all this shit going on?" I go, "Yeah, it's amazing." He goes, "When you watch a movie at home, it'll never be the same.
Never.
When you look at a movie, you'd be figuring out how they did this or why they did that." He says, "I'm sorry, but we just ruined your movie watching."
And it's the truth, right? I mean, you probably do think, "Oh man, there was a lot more to that than meets the eye right there."
Oh yeah, and you can see how cheesy it is or how well it's done.
Guaranteed.
You get a stunt that's done well. That movie was Roadhouse. That was a big one. Bob Chandler opened that scene where he drove through the river, and he drove up to the house.
Yep.
At first, and then I flew in. I was doing shows somewhere, and I flew in, and I took over the filming from there. So we're in front of the Double Deuce, and mine was a static part. You park the truck in front of the Double Deuce for background.
Uh-huh.
And a couple of bad guys were in there. It was a bad guy truck.
Right.
So you see the truck in different shots. Everybody goes in front of the Double Deuce. They see the truck in the background. So the first night filming goes pretty good. Second night, I'm out there. I'm cleaning the truck up, getting it shining. And the producer comes up, eats my ass. "What are you doing?" So I'm cleaning up the truck. "It's got to look just like it did last night. You can't touch that truck." So they're out there mixing up dirt and stuff and a little bit of mud and throwing it on the truck because they had pictures of what it looked like. So continuity. So I screwed up the continuity of a couple of shots there. They fixed it though.
Right.
So that goes on, and it was probably the most fun movie I ever worked on.
Was it really?
Every actor was so personable and so much fun.
Uh-huh.
And come up and talk. You just hung out, man. Just a bunch of guys. And like drinking beer with Sam Elliott, Pop Trailer. They ain't got me doing shit, but I got up here. Let's go get a beer. So we go to the Prop Trailer. They always had a half barrel of beer in the Prop Trailer.
Right.
So we drank a couple beers and talked. Anyway, this outdoor night scene goes on for about 3 days. And Patrick Swayze would come out and do these fight scenes in front of the Double Deuce. Now these guys are stuntmen, right? But they're taking hits. They're not missing. They're not making all their marks. Sometimes they're hitting guys and they're getting bruised up and they get thrown on the ground and stepped on. So these guys are taking licks doing these scenes. And of course, the producer wants the scene done over and over. So anyway, first couple of nights, everybody comes out, does their stuff, and then anyway gets a break. Any kind of break comes up, Patrick goes to his trailer. Patrick Swayze. And they do the fight scene again. This big, tall, blonde-headed guy named Chris would go get him. He was his handler. "Okay, Patrick, got to be out for this scene." So this went on for a couple of days, and I'm talking to Chris. Chris and I got to be friends. "Chris, why is Patrick Swayze such a dick?" He goes, "What?" I says, "Why is he a dick?" Well, he's not. I said, well, everybody else is really friendly, and he goes to his trailer the first freaking chance he gets. He never talks to anybody. He goes, no, he's a great guy. No, he really is. He's a good guy. I says, I don't know. I think he's a dick. It's just me, Midwestern talking, right?
Right.
Oh, farm boy, just calling it like it is.
Sure.
I think he's a dick. Everybody else is great. I mean, Ben Gazzara, Kelly Lynch, everybody was great. And so we got ready to shoot, I think a third night. The third night, he comes out of his trailer. We're standing there, and he walks right up to me, puts out his hand, and shakes my hand and says, hi, I'm Patrick Swayze. I hear you think I'm a dick. And I'm thinking, holy shit, I am off this movie. Bigfoot is off of this movie. How am I going to explain this? And him and Chris are standing there looking me right in the eye. And it felt like 5 minutes, but it's probably 30, 40 seconds, right?
Right.
And they both busted out laughing. So I could breathe again, right?
Right,
so
exactly.
I took a breath, and he says, Jim, I know I haven't been too friendly, but I've been sick. I haven't been feeling well. And these fight scenes, they take a lot out of me. And if I don't work, all these people here don't work.
Right.
And they got families, and they got to feed. And if I don't work, they don't work. So I'm trying to make every night I can. I'm doing the best I can. I says, yes, sir. I appreciate that, And he never failed to say hi to me. If we made eye contact at all. Hey, Jim, what's up? After that, he always said hi to me.
Oh, that's something, man. And that's when he was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, it was after that, I think.
Yeah, I think
so.
A
little bit after that.
Yeah.
But another story about him was we're out there in the Double Deuce in the middle of the field. They built this facade. And some ways away across a dark field, there's an outer road, and he had the state patrol out there keeping people back because people would come and watch the films, right?
Right.
So Patrick come out and do a scene, and here's about 6 or 8 girls go, Patrick, we love you. And the sound just traveled all the way across that field and would be picked up by the movie mics. And it cut. So they had to cut the scene and do over. And Patrick just puts his head down and shakes his head and starts walking right to the dark field, pitch black, toward the people, that ring of cars and people. That's quite a distance away. And everybody's looking. The producer says, somebody go with him. So me and a couple guys, and we followed him over there. And he got over near the people very diplomatically. Said, hey, I'm really happy you came out. And we appreciate you being interested in what's going on and everything. But you're bleeding over into our mics, and all these people are working hard, and we can't have that. We got to get this done. So enjoy yourself watching, but please keep it quiet. Just as diplomatic as you could be, and turned around and walked back and did the scene. Never heard another word from anybody.
Wow.
But he was just so diplomatic about it. No big-headed actor. No. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
some of these people are so big-headed they think they're God.
Right.
And he was not like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I heard about his death, and I just like, wow, there goes a good one.
Yeah.
He was great to work with.
Yeah, it just he kind of portrays that. I mean, of course, he portrayed that kind of bad boy, quiet type on the show. But I can remember when the first time we seen Roadhouse, I told my wife, I said, I bet you he's really a pretty good guy in real life. I bet you he really is. Well, now you just proved that he was.
A picture I would have loved to have, just like the picture in the dome. And if it was like today's times, everybody had a camera, I probably could have got a picture.
Right.
They called me, the call sheet was 7:30 makeup in the trailer. We had the scene. So anyway, I'm in there, makeup, and here's Ben Gazzara, Kelly Lynch, Patrick Swayze, Sam Elliott, and Red. Red, I forget his last name, but he was the store owner.
Right.
All lined up, looked like barber chairs, right? We're all getting makeup done. And I look down there and see all these highfalutin actors. And here's little old me sitting up there getting my hair done, right? Like, holy shit. I'd have paid $1 million to have a picture like that.
That would be a cool picture, a good remembrance, to do that. I can see that would be a fun one to do, because growing up as a kid, I mean, you never you never dreamed that you'd be sitting with people like that, you know. At least I know I wouldn't.
No, and we're getting to be friends before I do my scene. And I do my scene. They built this Ford dealership in the middle of nowhere. Everything you saw was put up in about 2 days. I mean, the asphalt, the trees, everything. And Bob Chandler worked really hard on his computer and getting the car spaced just right because we wanted to hit the car and want the front end to come down and have traction while the back end's still up and enough to boost it up on the next set of cars. And while the front end's up, the back tires are down to throw it over for the next set. And we worked this out on the computer where I had good traction up and down, up and down, up and down, you know, without being thrown anyway. And so we put a lot of work in that. We told the guys how to chain the cars down. We chained them so didn't want them to move because they couldn't move because this is what really scared me was they had stunt people walking between the cars as I was coming through the glass to come over. Like people were in the showroom and they were exiting, right? And there's a wall there. So, yeah, they were exiting in front of the car, but they clearly couldn't get completely out of the way. So that's why the truck had to maintain a straight line. It couldn't veer off because, you know, there could be a stuntman there.
Right.
So we went over this 7, 8, 9 times. It's a 7-camera shoot with a trolley and everything. It was a whole day set up cameras and everything else and do all the safety stuff. And they tried to get sugar glass, but they couldn't get sugar glass, so they got half-inch tempered glass tinted. And they figured they put squibs on it and blow the glass up when I touched it. And I'm thinking, well, I think this truck will break the glass, but
Yeah.
That's what they want to do. Okay, right? So it comes time to do the show. It's hot as hell. The guy I'm doubling is in the truck, and Ben Gazzara says, okay, Gary, drive through, and then he cut, and I jump in. And the last scene, Gary's rolling up the window, so I had to do this with the window down, which is really scary for me. Pardon me, window up. Because it was a different line of sight and everything else.
Sure.
So it was a lot more butt puckering for me because I had to operate in a mode that I wasn't used to operating in.
Right.
So I get in the back of the truck, and it was hot as hell, and he had the back window open, sliding glass Ford window. And I forgot to close it. So I give it the gas, I hit the window, and here's this half-inch tempered glass come down in aqua blue, the sunshine on it. It looks like you're going through a waterfall. And it's hitting the truck. Well, all that glass comes in, and a good portion of it lands in the back of the truck. Now, just like the stunt guy had chained in the back, so he didn't fly forward, well, this glass is in the bed. So, boom, it gets thrown up forward. So it comes through the back window. So I got glass flying around in the middle of the scene. I mean, I'm going through and I got glass in the cab.
Oh, man.
Every time it hit a car, and that bed would come up, it'd throw glass up. So I get to the end, and I bust through that glass, and we did all these safety meetings, and they had a guy on a trolley, a Chapman crane, and the guy sits on the chair, and then as it comes through, he's supposed to be pulled back and get a high shot of me going underneath him, right? That was the plan. Then he had a guy down here on the left, all glassed in with plexiglass and covers and everything. He would get the ground shot of the glass flying and the truck going by. So I come through, and I hit this back glass, this aqua blue, coming down just like when I first hit it. I see there's something shiny on my left-hand side. Something glistened, just shine, I saw something shiny, and it shouldn't be anything there. So I just cocked the front steering wheel a little bit, and I hit the rear steering a little bit, and kind of darted just a slight bit off to the right as I finished going through and stopped. And the guy sitting on the Chapman crane, the guy on the back boom is supposed to raise him up, didn't do it. He panicked. So he let the guy sitting right there. I would have hit the guy. My tire would have hit.
Oh, my God.
My tire would have hit his chair. He was sitting on a chair with a camera, just like. Anyway, he got glass thrown all over him because he had glass all over him. I had glass all over me. We picked the glass out and all that stuff. But anyway, going through, thank God I saw that. The guy panicked and didn't raise him up, and they escorted him off the lot right there.
Oh, I bet you so.
He was fired.
I
He just about got this guy killed, right?
Oh, man. Yeah.
And one more. If there was one more car in that stack, I wouldn't have made it because the blower belt got shredded.
Oh, it did.
Oh my God, that tempered glass come down in there between the pulleys and the belt.
Yeah.
It just chewed it. I had to put a belt on before I could even move it.
Oh man. Wow.
But that was, but all the actors come up and just congratulated them. They were so happy that the scene turned out good because it helped the film.
Right.
And they had this makeshift helmet I had on it. They all grabbed it and just they signed. I got this helmet. Everybody signed it.
How cool is that?
And Samuel goes, man, you made us proud today, boy. And just everybody just signed it. The producer, everybody did, the actors. But they were nice people.
Right. Right. And that makes it a fun time to work. I mean, you do what you did, and you had a good time doing it. So why wouldn't it be? You know, and that's something as people watching the movie, you never knew what goes on behind the scenes, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is behind the scenes of what it took to make those films. You know, because we had no idea that cameraman was there and never showed it. You know.
You want to continue on with movies so I can talk about Tango and Cash?
It's Jim. That's totally up to you, man. I mean, I can sit here and we've done this before. I can sit and talk to you all night long. So I mean, this is your deal. So if you want to talk about Tango and Cash, I'm all about it, man. And I'm sure that we still have people on here. I even got Lee Plato on here, man, and he says I love these stories, man. And Lee and them, they're from California, and they have the Skull Crusher monster truck, you know, and they're going to be on the show next week. So yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So if you want to talk, the mic's yours, baby. It's all yours, my brother.
Well, I'll do the Tango and Cash thing because I told you about a really good movie, and I'm going to tell you about a movie that kind of sucked working on.
Okay.
And that was Tango and Cash. It was Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell.
Right.
And you pull on the set with the semi and stuff, and Kurt Russell pulls up with a fifth wheel and the Playmore camper, right? And he puts out his awning, he puts his chairs out, and got a table sitting out there, waves to you. Hey, how's it going? And Kurt Russell couldn't ask for a nicer guy.
Right.
Really nice guy. Stallone pulls in this, I don't know, $1.5 million Prevost bus, right? And parks, this is a close set. The public is not anywhere near. I mean, you don't have, we just by ourselves.
Right.
Close set. He pulls out the Prevost bus. Well, you don't see him. He never comes out of his bus, basically. And you're told when you start, he says, don't approach him. Don't ask him for his autograph. Don't make eye contact with him. Just leave him alone. Hey, fine. If he wants to be a dick, that's fine. I don't care.
Right.
So you get ready to do the scene. It's a rain scene. It's a night scene where they're breaking out of prison in the rain. And they turn on the big rain booms and everything and get that all set up, get the stream of water they want. They shut everything off. Says, okay, bring the actors out. So Kurt Russell comes out and Sylvester Stallone comes out of his bus. He's got 2 bodyguards, one on each side. This is a closed set. They walk him up to the scene.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Who the hell's going to accost this guy, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he had 2 guys escort him up to the scene. So they turn on the water.
Oh.
And Kurt Russell feels the water. How's the water? Oh, water's fine. Stallone goes, nope, too cold. I'm not doing the scene. Call me when you get warmer. Well, they were coming out of a fire plug going into these big rain booms. They couldn't get it warmer. It's city water. It's this temperature.
Right.
So he turned around and walked off. Went back to his bus with his boys. So they had to go out. You familiar with hot oil heaters for tar work? Ted and I are making.
Yes.
And they're brand new stainless steel tanks and stuff like that.
Right.
So overnight, they go find 2 hot oil heaters. Hook one up to the fire hydrant, run the water into that hot water, Ed and our heater as hot as they can get it, run it to the next one, and adjust the temperature of the next one for the water coming out of that spot to get the water warm enough. So they call the scene. They come out, okay, let's do a water check. And Kurt Russell goes, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
And Stallone goes, yeah, it's better. Just a little bit more. Gets it the way he wants. Okay, I'll do the scene. So here you are working with all these nice people in this one set, and you got this prima donna.
Wow.
On this other set. It just put a sour taste in your mouth. And nobody on the set said one good word about him. Nobody even liked working with him.
Really?
Yeah, and he's a big star in Hollywood now. I mean, he does
yeah.
Tulsa King, and I don't know if he's changed, but when he did that movie, it was terrible.
Wow.
So, Bigfoot scene in there. If I'm at Universal Studios, I take number 8 out there, and we had number 7 out there. And they put a 50 caliber machine gun. They took the body off number 8, put a 50 caliber machine gun in the seat next to me.
Uh-huh.
All right. And they mounted a 50 caliber machine gun on top of the 3 carburetors on number 7, the one Bob drove.
Uh-huh.
So here we are, get ready to do the scene. We go out there and we're driving around and we're shooting. We come back, the armor guy goes, "You need bullets?" "Oh yeah, I shot them all, man." You press the button at 50 cal, it shook the truck. I mean, shook it.
I bet you, yeah.
Like it blurred your vision, right?
Right.
So we were having fun chasing this van around, shooting these 50 cals. And anyway, they had a scene that was built in. They had to jump off this 30-foot cliff onto a building that has some cars in it. You know, it's just jump off this cliff, straight down, and there's this building so many feet out, and these cars, you had to jump and hit the building. Well, the truck was a little front end heavy. Number 8 was front end heavy. And so they bought out this rig where it has a ramp. And when your front tires went up the ramp, your axle would trip this bar, and the front of the ramp would collapse, and your back tires would drive off level.
Uh-huh.
So it would set the inclination of the truck. So, man, we practiced this jump. I mean, we didn't go off the cliff, but we took and we practiced the distance with the speed and the angle with the ramp. And we practiced this and practiced this, and I'm feeling a little leery about this. Not too much shakes me up, but I was feeling a little bit leery about that. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this, but you're going to put a steel plate underneath where I'm sitting because I don't want a 2x4 come and shoving me in the ass.
Right, exactly.
So they did all that. And anyway, we didn't end up doing the shot because they had a giant scene with a lot of pyro with earth movers and stuff. And it didn't work. The scene totally bound.
Uh-huh.
So consequently, the scene I was going to do didn't make any sense. So they deleted that scene. That did not make me mad.
I bet you it didn't. I bet you it didn't.
I was going to do it, and we worked it out the best we could. We felt we had it down. We felt we had it down where we wanted it, but you never know.
No, it's just kind of like doing
30 feet don't sound like much, but you know what? 30 feet's pretty high.
Sure it is. Guaranteed. 30 feet, that's a telephone pole.
Yeah, that's so pretty good. Coming off a cliff, and you got to hit this like 4-car garage with cars in it, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like going through the motorhomes back in the day when they did the motorhome crashes. You always were worried about one of them 2x4s coming up through the floorboard or impaling you or something like that. You know, I mean, it wasn't fun. There was always that in the back of your head. What if? You know.
So I'll tell you a story about being impaled almost. That was Andy Brass coming closest. He's racing in one of the domes down south, and they had these just, the chrome posts that stick up with the lines, just, you know, markers, right?
Right.
Like you put around show cars.
Yeah.
Well, he had them on one side of the truck, the track. And he's coming around, he's sliding, and the truck tips up, and he comes down. He rolled in this pipe, came through the side of the cab and just grazed the stomach.
Oh.
And he kind of just went with the truck, you know, sliding. But that's how close he came in to being impaled.
Oh, that's close. That's too close.
That was yeah. Everybody looked at that and went, yeah, we're cleaning the floor. We don't have anything out there anymore.
Guaranteed. Yeah, for sure.
That was the last time that ever happened.
Yeah.
But
well,
anyway, then there's Super Dave and there's all kinds of stuff. But let's I'm getting a little hoarse here trying to talk to you. You're an announcer. You're used to talking. I'm not.
All right. Well, I'm going to save for the next time because I want to talk about the Hall of Fame and that kind of stuff. So we'll have you back on. And you don't know how much this meant to me that you said yes. It was a pleasure working with you. You know, you kept apologizing on the song. And that's the reason why I sent it to you, because I wanted it for your approval before I did anybody else's, you know. And it just means so. Our friendship means so much. For you and Julie stopping and having breakfast with me that morning, and my buddy Nick still talks about that day. And you know, it just it means so much that you took the time out of your day and went and had breakfast with us that morning. I was just really made me happy, and our friendship has made me happy through all the years. We've had some great times together.
Well, Jeff, it's the first time anybody wrote a song about me.
Well, leave it to me to do that. Now when you're when you're on Cheech's show or any of those other guys, you're going to say, "Hey, what kind of song are you going to make here for me?" You know, I require a song now, along with green M&Ms in the dressing room.
No, I just bring my own bumper music. Just play this.
There you go, man. There you go. Well,
Hey,
Jeff,
great talking to you, Jeff.
It really was.
Next time you're buying pancakes, all right?
Guaranteed. I'm buying it. It don't have to be pancakes. It can be steak and eggs or whatever, man. Or I'd take you to dinner and buy you a steak. I promise you that.
All right. One last thing. Good luck with your son.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And you and Julie have a great Christmas. Tell her I love her. And I'll talk to you soon, my friend, okay?
All right. See you.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. Guys, that's just what it is. You know, the friendships that we have, the friendships that we build, it's more than what you guys really see. And Lee's in here, and he can back this up, and so is probably Shane's listening and stuff. And I don't know if any of the other drivers are in there, but the relationships you build with the drivers, the announcers, the coordinators, and stuff like that, they don't just end when the show ends. They go on for a lifetime. And losing somebody like Dan Runte, it devastated me for 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I cried like a baby. I really did, because that was a friend. I mean, you know, people think, oh, he was just he's a monster truck driver and you were infatuated. No, I wasn't. Dan Runte became a friend of mine, and we were friends. We were brothers. And the same way with Jim Kramer, you know, Jim and I became friends. He was a monster truck driver, yeah, but he was my friend, and that's just the way it is. It's just like next week we have Shane and Lee Plato on, and I can remember them coming when Shane was just a little guy, and I think it was in Bakersfield, if I'm not mistaken, but they came and they took the time to do an interview with Monster Truck Radio, and you know, we have been friends for so long. And when I was put in Facebook jail, you know, Lee offered me one of his Facebook pages to go ahead and continue doing the show, and which was a great offer. But then I didn't want to confuse my listeners by saying, okay, I'm going to be here, but in a month I'm going to be back here and stuff. But that's the friendships you build. You try to help each other. You know, it's just the way it is. And I got guys coming through here all the time. They have problems, and they call, Roller, could you help us out? And sure, man, I'm there for you. And excuse me, I got the hiccups now. But I know that if I go through the town where they live, or if I need them on my show, they're going to say, dude, whatever you want, man, whatever you want. We're going to make it happen, you know? So that's just the camaraderie. That's the family that we have, you know? And my brother, Scott Chisholm on there, man. That's an old friend. That's family right there. That's... I'm sorry, guys, but I looked up there and I seen his name. That's family right there, man. Scott Chisholm. going to take a minute. I'm going to play a song. We'll be right back here. I need to compose myself, guys. I'll be back here in just a minute. I'm going to play a song that I wrote for Dan Runte, and I'll be back here in just a second.
Lost my brother Dan today. God took him away to the monster truck show in heaven. From 18 years old, he was following his dream of being the best driver that he could be. The engines roaring loud, flying higher than the rest. My brother Dan was the best, but now he's riding high in that monster truck show way up in the sky, where the ramps are endless and the engines never die. Dan, you are my brother, my friend till the end. I will miss you till I see you again. And then golden gates open wide. He jumped an airplane that left the crowd and all, but the man off the track was the best thing I saw. If you needed advice or just needed a friend, Dan was a man you could count on again and again. Now he's riding high in God's monster truck show way up in the sky, for all the angels and the tires keep turning and the cheers never die. Dan, you are my brother, my friend till the end. I will miss you till I see you again. It's hard to say goodbye, but I know it's not the end. In one day we'll do shows together again. Someday I'll climb that big dirt ramp and do our interviews all over again. Together forever on the other side. Yeah, he's riding high in that monster truck show way up in the sky, where legends live forever and our spirits will be free. Dan, you are my brother, my friend till the end. I'll see you again when them gates open wide, and we'll be together again. So keep on driving, my brother, till I catch up one day. We'll have some Captain Morgan again in heaven, where we'll catch up again. So rest in peace till I see you again.
Okay, man, I'm back. Scott, it just meant the world that I seen you on there, man, and I just felt back into those old times of the green juice days, and you and your wife coming out to see me when I retired and stuff, and just it hit me hard, man. So I love you, my brother, too. Lee Plato, you're right, man. 2 hours a night, we get to entertain people and do something that we absolutely love, and but the friendships that we build in between the shows are the ones that are amazing, and I just wish that I was around more to be able to do the shows with you and Shane now, to watch Shane grow up to where he is. And we're going to have a good show again next week with Lee and Shane on, and we're going to be talking to them. And I'm booking people. Scott Chisholm, I need you on, man. I need you to get on and talk about the times when you used to chase this little fat announcer up the dirt ramps. Yeah, chased me up the dirt ramps and thought it was funny. Yeah, that you guys aged me. I'm really only 30, but I look 65. Yeah, it's because of Scott Chisholm. That's what it is. But no, guys, I tell you what, man, it is a family, and it's nice to have family get on and talk and be there and stuff like that. I really did enjoy the interview with Jim. I still had a bunch of questions, and we'll get back to him, man. I mean, it's just, and we'll pick up right where we left off is the thing, and I want to speed through the interview, and then I think, you know what, man, this is classic stuff, man. This is stuff that people never gets to hear, and so you got to slow it down. You just got to, and if you don't get through all your questions, you don't get through all your questions, man. It's just the way it is. It's not a perfect world, man. And Lee, you're right, man. Dan and Borba, they are up there right now, and they're laughing at me because I'm crying like a baby. And Dan's going, "Come on, little buddy, let's go have a Captain and Morgan." And that's just it, man. That's just what it is, man. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate you hanging out tonight. This show meant a lot to me, and it was good to have everybody on and see everybody and all you guys hanging out with me. Make sure you tune in next week, next Sunday, because Lee and Shane are going to be on, and we're going to be talking about a young man that's coming up that was really going to go drive for Feld and decided, you know what? I'm going to do this on my own, and I'm going to do my own deal and make my own fame. And he's going to, man. He's a fabulous driver, and courtesy to his dad taking the time to put him into the sport and to work with him and give him the right equipment and stuff like that. It's just amazing, man. And I can't wait for that interview. And Lee, I did talk to the gentleman, the publicist, and he remembers me from Monster Truck Radio days and stuff like that, and so we had a good conversation there, and he's going to help me with some other stuff. So and he said if I need anything else, I'll do it. So I'll call you during the week, Lee, and we will talk a little bit more, and I'll get a little bit more information from you. And there's a few things that I want to make sure that we can talk about before we talk about them and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up. I'm going to go ahead and finish up here, ladies and gentlemen, with a song that I made, and it's called "Life on the Road." And basically, this is more about a monster truck driver than it is anything else. The life on the road that, they're traveling, they miss the midnight calls from their family because they're busy and stuff like that. So this is called Life on the Road. This is Pedal to the Metal. I appreciate you guys so much, and I really, really look forward to 2026. I'm going to take this show to the next level, and I want people like Jim and Lee and Shane and Scott and different things like that, and anybody else that has hot rods. I mean, this show is you guys' show. I mean, I'm only the host of the show. This is your show, and I want to be able to put on a good show for the public and let them understand what's going on in the lives of of my friends that were in the monster truck business and the new friends that I make, how they got their cars built and what it took to do it and what they do on my shows have always been like that. It's always been the back side of the story more than the front side of the story. I want to know why you got into the business, and I want to know what it took to get into the business or what it took to build your hot rod and stuff like that. So if you got friends that have a passion for their hot rod and they love talking about it, man, get them onto this show. Tell them, hey, he'll give you, and the interviews are easy, man. It's just like two people talking. It really is. I mean, I get my next question usually from the first question that I asked, you know. I mean, I had a few questions wrote down on a piece of paper here from Jim, and I didn't follow that script very much, you know, and everybody wants to know what kind of script you got. So I don't have a script, man. I got a few notes down here on a piece of paper for me, and that's all I have. So I really look forward to getting this show bigger and bigger all the time. And if you guys are interested, just all you got to do is just get a hold of me at jeffrichards327 at gmail.com, or you can call my personal cell phone, 303-919-6678, and I'll be happy to talk to you and go from there. Don't forget to go to fourthwall.com, type in Pedal to the Metal, order some shirts. If you like some of the music, call me. Tell me what CDs you like, and I'll get you some CDs. I'm not making any money on this stuff. In fact, I'm losing money on this stuff. So I'll get with you, Scott. You let's see. It's definitely need a CD. So many stories and hours on the highway time. Yeah, dude. I got 3 really good CDs that I think you'll enjoy. So if you're interested, you just you know how to get a hold of me, man. Just do so. So I look forward to having you on the show for sure, and we'll talk about that, and we'll get stuff going. So I love you guys very much. You're all family to me. You're my lug nuts, and let's listen to a little bit of music right here called Life on the Road.
At sunrise, my diesel humming low. Arena lights are waiting, another town to go. Motels and mile markers, truck stop coffee strong. Crowds will cheer for minutes, but the road goes on so long. It's life on the road, behind the wheel and steel. Living for the thunder, the roar is all I feel. From the sleeper to the spotlight, it's the only life I know. But I'm missing home and family each mile I go. Grease-stained hands and late nights, the crew is family too. We chase the fire and fury just to bring the show to you. Long hours on the highway, chasing down a monster truck. Driver's dream, a hero for the moment, then I'm gone like gasoline. It's life on the road, behind the wheel and steel. Living for the thunder, the roar is all I feel. From the sleeper to the spotlight, it's the only life I know. But I'm missing home and my family each mile heartbeat I remember, why I drive. It's life on the road, behind the wheel and steel, living for the thunder. The roar is all I feel. From the sleeper to the spotlight, it's the only life I know. And I'm missing my home and my family. Now it's time for another show.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for me. I appreciate you guys very much. Boggin Racer, if you want to be on the show, man, it would be an honor to have you on the show. If you're a friend of Lee's, you're a friend of mine. And, man, we'll just set up a date. We have some Wednesday dates open. Lee can get you my number. You can call me direct. It's always good to have a piece of paper and a pencil when you listen to the show, because I give out phone numbers, I give out email addresses and stuff like that. And we always start the show at 6 o'clock with some music. I write the lyrics and do the stuff like that. And I'd love to have you hear some of the music and different things, and then we start on with a great show. And then sometimes I don't even have anybody on, and we just sit around and talk. People call in, and don't forget that call-in number is 720-273-0772. That's 720-273-0772. And that phone is only on when the show's going. If you really want to get a hold of me, my personal cell phone number is 303-919-6678. That's 303-919-6678. Or you can email me at jeffrichards327@gmail.com. That's jeffrichards327@gmail.com. So we'll get more people on. Like I said, this is y'all's show, and it's all about you guys, not me. I'm just the host. I just happen to have an empty basement that I got a chance to set up and do something that I really loved doing. So I'm going to play one more song as we go out, and then I'm going to hit my outro. And just want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. And I hope you guys have a safe one. If you're traveling, please be safe. I don't want to hear of anything bad happening to anybody. And so please be safe and have a good holiday. Love your family. If you got little ones, man, make it so special for them, because one day they grow up and then they become adults, and all that magic of Santa and stuff like that's gone. So keep Santa in their arms, in their eyes, and in their hearts as much as you can. This next song up here, ladies and gentlemen, is Who's Gonna Play Willie's Guitar When He's Gone? This is a song I wrote here, and I just get these thoughts every once in a while, and I thought, I wonder who's going to play Willie's guitar when he's gone. Well, you know, the guitar is going to go to the family, or they're going to donate it to a museum, or maybe Hard Rock Cafe or something like that. But anyway, the young person in the song is not going to get the guitar. I can guarantee you that. So we're going to do that, and then I'll do the outro, and then I'm out of here. You can always listen to these on YouTube, and then we do some podcasts on Spotify, so you can do that. So peace out, guys. I love you. Be safe. Talk to you soon.
Back in the early days, a Texas boy with a dream. Willie bought him a guitar with a voice like kerosene. Through the smoke-filled bars and the neon nights, they found their sound beneath those honky-tonk lights. That old guitar was more than wood and white, carried every heartbreak, every flame of his fire. They rode them highways, coast to coast, played for the drifters, the lost, and the folks he loved most. On every tour bus rolling through the dawn, that faithful old guitar kept strumming along. Hit after hit, song after song, Willie and that guitar proved each other strong. So who's gonna play Willie's guitar when he's gone? Who's gonna carry those memories on? Will it rest in a museum shining under soft lights, or hanging Hard Rock Cafe, a treasure of those nights? Or will some young dreamer with a heart full of scars be the one to play Willie's guitar? It took a beating, got busted, but never gave in, just like Willie through the losses and the wins. That old guitar knows every story by heart, every tear, every laugh, every humble start. Some say it's magic, some say it's fate, but it's Willie and that guitar that made the legends they made. Maybe it'll rest in a hall where the great ones stay. Maybe Hard Rock will proudly give it its place. Or maybe it'll find a kid on a porch somewhere, picking old songs on a summer night's air. Whoever holds it better know who they are, 'cause they'll be playing more than strings on a scarred-up guitar. So who's gonna play Willie's guitar when he's gone? Who'll keep that outlaw spirit living on? Whether it's behind velvet rope or in a young troubadour's arms, someone's gonna feel that magic charm, yeah. Long as the world still loves a country star, someone's gonna play Willie's guitar.
All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pedal to the Metal. I want to send out a huge thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting the show. I also want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. You're the ones that help keep the wheels turning, and we truly appreciate you. Be sure to join us every Wednesday and Sunday. We kick things off with music at 6 p.m. each night, and the full show starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Until next time, keep the pedal down, heads high, and we'll see you at the next show.
Peace out, guys. See you next time. Same channel, same bat channel. Bye.